The Mountain Gods whole family at their premier mountain resort, where you'll create memories that will last a lifetime. For more information, visit innofthemountaingods.com.
All right, let's do this.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. The White House opens its doors to another close ally. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more.
El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele has been a key partner for the Trump administration as they work to remove what they allege are migrant criminals and gang members in the U.S. Last month, more than 200 Venezuelans were sent to a maximum security prison in the country. The legal fight continues over the government's use of the Alien Enemies Act to deport some of those migrants.
The U.S. is paying El Salvador $6 million to house what it calls foreign terrorists. Asian markets rallying today, tensions over trade easing slightly. President Trump said computer chips, smartphones, laptops would be subject to the same high import duties as some other products. The all-women celebrity-filled Blue Origin suborbital flight set for liftoff at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good April run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings with condition, pairs, bred cows. We expect to sell 1,200 head, breaking down like this: 75 to 100 weight cows and bulls, 100, 125 pairs, bred cows, 950, 1,000 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 13 cow-calf pairs from Miss Nancy McDonald at Tenney, New Mexico, ex-quality red white-face and white-face pairs, 2 to 7 years old. 18 pair Mr. David Corn here north of Roswell, ex-quality black white face Angus crossbred cows with Angus calves at side, good flesh, 9 to 11 years old. 22 bred cows and 5 cow-calf pairs. Hudson Cattle Company, Deming, New Mexico, ex-quality black white face Angus crossbred cows bred to Charolais bulls, 4 to 9 years old. 34 calves, Nielsen Ranch, St. John's, Arizona, ex-quality black white face Angus cross calves, 1 round of shots, weaned, thin condition, 350, 500 pounds. 208 heifers, Rio Hondo Landon Cattle Company down in the Hondo Valley, excellent to good quality long-aged heifers, cattle weaned 100 plus days, 1 round of shots, consisting of 150 Brangus heifers in the 400, 650 pound weight range, and 50 1/4 year crossbred heifers, 500, 650 pounds, thin to medium condition. 19 steers, Mr. Blake McWhirter, Plains, Texas, excellent quality black Brangus steers, weaned 40 days, Bovinshield Gold 7 weight, good flesh, 550, 650 pounds. 87 calves, Hub Corn Ranch here north of Roswell, excellent quality black white face Angus and Brangus crosses, cattle weaned 80 days, 1 round of shots, bunk broke, 550, 700 pounds. 68 calves, Mr. Robert Payne, Pie Town, New Mexico, excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred calves, 1 round of shots, thin to medium condition, 350, 550 pounds. 43 calves and light yearlings, U-Bar Ranch, Silver City, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus crosses, 1 round of shots, medium condition, 350, 600 pounds, and 35 calves. The Robinson Cattle Company, Mesilla Park, New Mexico, ex-quality black white face Angus and Brangus crosses, shots, 350, 550 pounds. Sale time this morning will be 9 o'clock. Sale pairs of bred cows 9:30 to 9:45. Calves and yearlings 10 to 10:30. Very short on weight cows and bulls. Be on pairs of bred cows pretty quick. We will sell on Tuesday next week in observance of Easter Sunday. We expect to sell 1,200 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? Fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
Good times and bad come and go. The dust settles and you take a look around. That's when you see who your real friends are. We've seen our members through the toughest of times. We're conservative and we're consistent. We don't always tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes we say no, but we're always looking out for your best interest. That's what friends are for. Estacado Federal Credit Union. where you are more than a number. You're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
At Franklin Veterinary Clinic, they're a full-service clinic that offers comprehensive care for family pets, equine athletes, and livestock alike. They have multiple veterinarians on staff providing the best possible care for your animals at every stage of their life. And when emergencies arise, they offer 24-hour ambulatory services and after-hour emergency care. The new emergency number is 575-808-7725. Franklin Veterinary Clinic, a tradition and excellence in caring, proudly serving Lincoln, Chavez, and Otero counties.
What's really going on? Daniel Velos back at it again at Permian Ford Lincoln, your new home of the Big Blue Gorilla. You'll see why whenever you come by. Check it out. Anyway, glad to be back powering B in the Breakfast Club. Also excited to be back here at Permian Ford making all the deals for all of Southeast New Mexico and West Texas that are so outrageous you'll think twice about buying or selling your car anywhere else. Text me today, 575-441-7855. We have a radio discount code, Breakfast Club. That's 575-441-7855. Radio discount code, Breakfast Club. PermianFord.com.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
Good morning. In Southeast New Mexico this morning is pretty mild, but temperatures will reach a high this afternoon to 79 degrees in Roswell under a sunny sky. Few thin high clouds over Carlsbad, Artesia, but still 82 degrees in Southeast New Mexico and Hobbs and Loving at 76 degrees. Our studio temperatures at 72 degrees on Tuesday, mid-70s in Carlsbad. For B107 The Blaze, I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts.
Your country plays on W105. Hello?
And there is a great deal of excitement and anticipation in the air.
Come on, feel the noise.
Actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying.
In the Breakfast Club, being powered by Permian Ford, with the goal of being your #1 Ford dealer in New Mexico and West Texas. Broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. The question of the day, brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply. They have parts for semis, heavy trucks, and industrial trucks. Text line being brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to us.
Good morning.
Morning.
We are B in the Breakfast Club.
Good morning.
It's morning.
Is there anything worse than Monday morning?
It's Monday morning.
It's Monday already.
Is it morning already?
Yeah, I don't want to go to work.
Who does?
It's definitely not me. I love my job.
You do.
You're a weirdo.
Somebody has to do it.
It is not me.
Well, enough talk.
Now, get back to work.
Let's do this.
All right, but I just remembered, it just hit me like a load of bricks. I didn't do a question of the day. So you tell me which ones you like. Funny fart stories. Everybody's got one. They let it go in church or wherever. Funeral, wedding, whatever. That could be it. And how much money you got in your wallet right now? Which one do you guys like? Or
like
whatever
wallet.
one we
Wallet. I like the wallet.
Wallet.
All right. Monica, do you have Jen's?
I do.
Jen? Yeah, send her that question if we would. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Since I had a brain fart, since I still have water problems, I need Tom A to help me.
Go ahead.
I have had zero luck. The tank I bought had it wasn't welded right, so it was probably Tom that welded the damn thing. And I told the wife, I'm buying a damn welding rig, just one of those little small ones for stuff like this.
One of those Harbor Freight ones.
Yeah, so then they got me another one and brought it to me today. So I actually took off Sunday and didn't work on it. And then it had some issues. The drain plug was stripped. So I had to do some redneck modification on that. And then now it's not sucking. So the water is draining, but it's not going in the tank. So maybe it could be I put too much silicone because I had some other issues.
So let me get this straight. The tank is not sucking, so you need Tom A to fix it.
Yeah.
Guys.
So it No, it doesn't have a hole in it.
Put a
It's
hole
got
in it.
now for the first time in a while, it's actually sealed up, but I think it's got so many design flaws. It's Filipino technology at its best.
Oh, I
there
figured-
is zero common sense.
I figured it was made in China.
No, it's actually the motor might be made in China, but so I'm back at it again tomorrow. And I told the wife, if I don't get it done, hire a plumber, call somebody. Problem is, there are no real plumbers. That's part of the problem. You're expected to fix stuff on your own. It got so bad today that I went to the hardware store, and the girl told me, because you don't go pick out your own stuff. You tell them what you want, and they go get it. I said, can I go back there? She looks at me. She goes, sure. You've only been here like 80 times in a week. Seems like I know you. And so I went back there. This is what I was looking for. So I fix one thing, another thing breaks. Story of my life. We'll get it done tomorrow. All right, 610. So I was off on Sunday. I did my taxes, paid Uncle Sam, and then went to the gym and did 10 liners. I thought I was making headway. Tom, what did you do this weekend? That was productive.
That was productive?
Yeah, productive.
I was Tom A.
So you mean nothing. You're just lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe when I told a story on Friday about Jelly Roll losing 200 pounds, and you were like, big deal. Big deal. That's a big deal for somebody losing 200 pounds.
I know. I've been there. I've lost 300 pounds before.
You have not. Liar.
Divorce does not count.
Liar.
I don't.
I was at 423 when I moved to Roswell.
Oh,
New Mexico.
please. Yeah, what a,
Wait. He said,
every
wait.
day
Let's do some math here. He just said he weighed 423 and lost 300 pounds. So you would expect people to believe you got down to like 70, 80 pounds?
I noticed you switch it up. Like your either your weight isn't the same or the amount you lost isn't the same.
Yes.
Because
Thank you, Monica.
Yeah.
It's in that neighborhood.
Morning show this morning being brought to you by our buddy. We're being powered by our buddies at Permian Ford. Check them out today. And Daniel's making deals like they've never made deals before. So go by and see Daniel this morning. Text line, it's 877-396-W105. Text line being brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Find them at amigo-machinery.com. Question of the day being brought to you by Lovington Auto and Truck Supply, your Napa dealer, Avenue D in Lovington. They have the largest selection of truck parts in Southeast New Mexico. And if you are watching us right now, we are broadcasting YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch. We are all over the place. So, by the way, broadcasting from the End of the Mountain God studio. Ex-spouse day. Tom, tell something good about your ex.
Which one?
I didn't care. Just tell me something good.
The latest one, then. She had a nickname for me.
Okay. What was it?
She used to roll her tongue. She said, mi amor, mi amor, mi amor.
Yeah, that lasted 92 days until she said, get out, get out, get out. Today is Dream of Reason Feast Day, Holy Monday, International Moment of Laughter Day, Love Up the Sky Day, National Dolphin Day, National Grits Day, National Pecan Day, Pan America Day, and Reach as High as You Can Day going on all day today. All right, Tom, you know Joel Bell.
Joe
You
Bell.
know Joel?
Joe Bell.
Joel.
Oh, Joel.
G-O. Yeah, Joel.
Joel.
Joel
Okay.
Bell. You know Joel?
Sounds like he's in the neighborhood.
I know you know
Mr.
Joel Bell
Rogers' neighborhood.
from Artesia. Anyway, Joel Bell is got signs out all over the place. Joe Bell for governor. Let me clean out the stalls in Santa Fe. That's his slogan.
Oh, wow.
Let me clean out the stalls. So Joel is a rancher. He is a oil and gas guy. Been around for a long, long time. Joel, he's a listener. I'm not calling you an old dude, but he's been around for a while. And Joel running for governor of New Mexico. And you know what? Joel is the type of guy that could actually go throughout the state, and he's just a good old guy. And I bet he can make some inroads.
Well, give him a shot.
We'll see. We'll see. So, but Joel Bell. Check out Joel. Tom, you know him because he would come to any event in Artesia. But congratulations going out to Joel.
Yeah, okay, now I know. Yes.
I doubt it if you do.
Yes, I remember. It took a little bit.
What's his trademark, Tom? What's his trademark?
I forgot what his trademark was.
Yeah. There you go. I knew you had it.
But
I didn't even know. Me and him are friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Joel, for plunging in. I mean, Joel, I know you could do a much better job than Michelle Lujan Gresham. That's for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
For sure. All right. Question of the day this morning: how much money you have in your wallet today, Tom?
Well,
get your wallet out, Monica.
Okay. I've got one $50 bill in my wallet.
Get out. Really.
$150.
I need a loan.
Tom,
you
how
don't
much
pay
money
loans
you
back? You don't get any.
I got nothing.
Nothing?
No.
Of course not.
But I got
Blake?
$120 in my car.
$131.
131.
How much?
131.
131, 120. That's 250.
And so, why would
Not
you have
you.
money in your car and not in your wallet?
No, I have 131 in my wallet.
No. He just said he had money in his car.
He doesn't.
$120 I do.
Where?
Why would you keep it in your car?
Well, I got an envelope for it, and I left it on my visor, so.
Is your car locked? You better make sure your car's locked.
It's locked.
We're going to go look.
For those that are looking on camera,
I'm coming. Hold on.
I've got 3,050 pesos.
So, like,
which translates
$3. How many dollars?
No. That's about 65, 70 bucks.
Okay.
Something like that. 65, 70 bucks. And I've spent way more than that on plumbing this weekend. That's damn sure. But that's pretty much the way what I got. All right, 16 after the hour 6. We are beyond the Breakfast Club. We're going to talk about the governor of Michigan. Michigan, you guys should be very proud of this woman. We'll get to that. Plus, Bill Maher will be on the tweet of the day. I'll get to that coming up. Had great things to say about Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't seen the interview, go check it out. I'm not a big Bill Maher fan, but I will say this much. In the last year, he has become more sensible.
Yeah. He's become
He
way
is,
more likable and respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And cross more to the middle, and instead of being way on the left. So I'll get to that in just a second. Check out the weather this morning being brought to you by La Tienda and Pecos. They've got big specials going on right now. Boneless pork loin, just $1.77 a pound. Boneless breast tenders, $2.49 a pound. Boneless chuck roast, Beef, of course, $4.99 a pound, and get tilapia for $3.97 a pound. And the produce department get red ripe tomatoes 99 cents a pound, 2 for $4 avocados, and get greens, make that black and red seedless grapes, $1.99 a pound. And also, if you're looking for other specials in the meat department, they've got a bunch of different specials, including cooked shrimp, $7.99 for a 1 pound bag. Also, fryer wings, $2.99 a pound, and chuck steak, get it for just $5.29 a pound. Looking for stuff like Coke, Dr. Pepper, Sprite, 2 12-packs for $12. Find it all at La Tienda in Pecos. Don't forget, they have made from scratch tortillas. They make them multiple times a day. Check it out today at La Tienda in Pecos, Texas. Weather for the day, wind is blowing a little bit today. It's going to be about 30 miles an hour gust, becoming less winds, about 20 miles an hour out of the east this afternoon. Overnight low tonight getting down to about 51 and then 72 tomorrow with 25 miles an hour winds. For Lincoln County, 68, wind not going to be bad in Lincoln County, and then 43 tonight. You have a chance of some sprinkles early evening tonight, 65 and sunny tomorrow. Winds will get up to about 20 miles an hour by tomorrow. And in Albuquerque this morning, high temperature getting up to 80, decreasing clouds, chance of breezy weather tonight. Winds could be up to about 35 miles an hour tonight. And then tomorrow, 80 and continued breezy weather with 35 mile an hour winds. Most of those winds should be out of the east coming up tomorrow. Check the forecast, W105radio.com. Quick check of the forecast being brought to you by State Representative Randy Pettigrew, reminding you the governor continues to push back. We're going to talk about the governor. She used a pocket video on how many bills? 15?
16, I think.
16. We'll get to that coming up. But this governor is definitely going to want a special session, and we'll talk about that at some point during the show. But Randy Pettigrew fighting against the liberals, fighting against the governor, fighting for our way of life in Southeast New Mexico. He's in District 61. Message paid for by Randall Pettigrew. Go check him out on the web at randallpettigrew.com. He's also on Facebook. Michigan's governor, Gretchen Whitmer, mocked after she captured hiding her face behind a binder.
Like a,
Really?
like a toddler.
And
Who was this?
Gretchen Whitmer.
The governor
Michigan.
of Michigan.
Wow.
But you know what?
Like a
hiding her
3-year-old.
face, she actually did people a big favor.
She's not that hideous.
We didn't have to look at her.
She's okay.
Oh, that's
Whitmer was in D.C. to discuss issues including the recent ice storm, which has since asked for presidential emergency declaration, but didn't want to be seen. So she hid her face behind a bunch of binders. She's definitely an ice queen.
Sure.
They're saying she could be the presidential pick
Whatever.
for 2028. And Joe Biden plans to write a book about his presidency and his historic withdrawal from the election.
So what cartoonist is he going to get to draw it?
Well, you got it wrong, Blake. It's going to be a scratch and sniff.
See me fall. See me eat ice cream.
By the
See
way,
me,
this
tall
effect will
Tom.
have the same effect. This will have the same effect on Joe as the beach. He'll just fall right asleep.
Holding
for
the
sure.
ice cream cone.
Last week, Jay North passed away. For those that don't remember Jay North, he was Dennis the Menace on TV 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of
Little
passing away,
cowlick in the back.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Speaking of passing away, did you hear about the LSU football player that committed suicide?
Yeah, and it's kind of troubling because Karen Lacey was in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So, good football player. You know, when you drive at a high speed of, high rate of speed, and you're driving reckless and you kill somebody. So today, the grand jury is supposed to be looking at his case.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened in Houston and why he was in Houston, because he's from Lafayette.
Okay.
But high-speed chase, and he took his own life. Yeah. He had just graduated, too.
Bless his heart.
He was going to be a top 6 draft pick, too.
A top 6?
As a wide receiver, as one of the top 6 wide receivers.
Was he?
I don't know if he was going to.
That's the part that I was confused about. So even though he was set to go to court tomorrow, was he still in the draft?
No.
Well, he had just participated in the NFL combine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if he was I don't think he was a day 1 draft pick.
Gotcha.
But
no.
I mean, even if you're a day 2 draft pick, you're still making some bank.
Still good.
But he probably wouldn't have done jail time for maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he would have done jail time. But it wouldn't have been, because it wasn't intentional, but he was driving at a high rate of speed. I think he was driving at like 78 miles an hour when he got in the wreck with the old dude. And maybe I'm confused, because I know the old man was 78 years old.
He was.
That he killed. Yeah. Former Marine. So the grand jury was going to hand down a decision today. So I don't know if there was a warrant for his arrest. I don't know.
Maybe he just felt guilty.
I've been busy with water issues over the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the guilt consumed him, to tell you the truth.
I think he.
What's that?
Well,
I know. I can only imagine you take somebody's life, and I can only imagine the guilt is going to eat you up if you're a good human being.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Michael.
Yeah. Like the
sad.
fact that you disappointed people, fans, that's a heavy weight to bear.
Now, it's crazy. The beginning of the year, we were at that game at USC and LSU game.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the player that got penalized for doing the gun?
Oh, yes.
Gesture?
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah.
That was him. Wow. Yeah. Michael Kent Jones recently graduated from the University of Idaho College of Law, and he is now the oldest person in the United States to receive a law degree. 74 years of age. See, Tom, it's not too late for you.
I'm retired.
It's not. Lowering egg prices before Easter. Egg prices actually increased last month, reached a new all-time high. Well, was this a record high? $6.23 per dozen. I really believe that whoever's in charge of ag for Trump we need a serious investigation. Find out what the hell is going on, because laying hens don't take that long.
Yeah, right.
We should be producing a bunch of eggs. Not me, but Tom, you probably can. You settle around a lot. You could probably produce them. Looks like a man arrested after arson at the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania. This is sad. I mean, look, Shapiro actually has kids, and somebody firebombed the governor's mansion. I'm wondering how they got that close to the governor's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there security?
Right. There's supposed to be. There should be.
So the man scaled the iron security fence in the middle of the night, eluded police, and then broke into the Pennsylvania governor's mansion, where he set fire that significant damage to and thank God Josh Shapiro and his family was able to get out. The man was captured later in the day, will face charges of attempted murder, terrorism, and aggravated arson. and aggravated assault. Shapiro and his wife, they have 4 kids, 2 dogs, and another family had celebrated the Jewish holiday of Passover with them, so they stayed over Saturday. So they did make the arrest of Cody Bulmer. He's 38 years old, of Harrisburg. And I heard Shapiro speaking this morning, and he was fiery, mad, and cussing. He was not a happy camper. And, you know, I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, or whatever. This is unacceptable. This is totally unacceptable. And this is what separates me from the liberals after the firebombing at the Republican headquarters in Santa Fe. I could say this is terrible. Nobody should have to fight for their life in the middle of the night because somebody firebombed their home. No matter if it's the governor's mansion or a single wide mobile home somewhere.
Right.
Nobody should have to worry about that. Sad. All right, text line. Let's get to the text. Then we'll talk about the governor's long list of things that she pocket vetoed. And let me just say this. A pocket veto is a coward's way out. We'll talk about that coming up next. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Zia Guns, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Over 1,000 guns in stock, handguns, rifles, shotguns. If you're looking for personal protection, they've got the right guns for you. Ladies, go in there and talk to them. They have lethal and non-lethal personal protection. Trade in your old gun to get a better gun. And don't forget, they will buy your guns. They give you fair pricing on your guns. Stop in and check them out. Expert staff, good folks. Tell Miss Amanda you heard about them on BM The Breakfast Club, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Don't forget, closed Saturday, open on Sunday. Give them a buzz, 575-622-0023. Tom?
All right, the NFL had pulled his card because of him supposedly being responsible for the death, that according to this texter. Now, do you remember Dalen Carter, a lineman for Georgia 2 years ago, also was in a similar situation, causing the death of 2 people in an accident. But he was drafted by the Eagles. As a matter of fact, he was on their roster when the Eagles won the Super Bowl this past season.
I do remember that. I haven't heard that they pulled his card because the combine was only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, a couple months ago. But they have
no, it was a couple of weeks ago.
But they have
personal, it was on the campus at LSU during spring training.
Right. They have also personal days that they try out for scouts and stuff too.
It was LSU combine. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't doubt you. It was.
All right.
Continue.
Artesia Tom fan says Joe writing a book, he couldn't sign his own name.
True. Had to have an auto pen.
Cousin Adam said, "Good morning, cuz. I got $2.96 in my wallet."
And this texter says, "I got $1 bill in my wallet." Says the texter.
That's $1 more than Tom.
Right?
Right. Linda in Carlsbad has $40 in her wallet.
I need a loan, Linda.
Jay in the patch said, "Did y'all hear that crazy squeaking noise when Tom opened up his wallet?" Butthead said, "Can you guys tell Smokey I said have a good day?" And Butthead loves and misses him. Butthead, I'm sure Smokey loves and misses you too.
Right.
I am back. Jody, guess who's back? Good morning. Thanks for checking on me too. That was really kind of you. Did you guys see Stephen A. Annoying Smith thinking of running for president?
Yeah, he announced.
Yeah, look, Stephen A. just likes the attention.
Yeah, I think he likes to talk too.
So it's
Like,
not surprising that he
abnormal.
said Stephen A. Annoying Smith, because now that he's talking about that, all the people on the left don't like him anymore.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And if Tom thinks
They got the memo.
If Tom thinks he lost 300 pounds, tell him to look down and he will find it. Says the texter.
Somebody said it's 200, not 400, Tom. Good morning, fellas. Good morning, Monica. Kevin, did you see the news on LSU WR Department Lacey?
Yep. Sad. Sad.
Okay. I can't say what's in my wallet. My wife may be listening.
Right.
Just subtract
Mark
what you don't
from
want her to know.
Wilmington.
And did you guys hear that the governor is going to Asia? Asked the texter.
Oh, no.
Not a surprise. She's got a lot of trips planned.
I'll talk about that. And with the tariffs, I mean, are there anybody ready to make a deal? And what kind of business we're bringing to New Mexico?
Right. Do you want the last one? One more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. How about Nico Ayamaleyava asking $4 million
Yeah.
a year to play for the University of Tennessee?
Yeah, and let me play the cut from my buddy Josh Pate. Josh Pate does a podcast, probably one of the top podcasts. So what this kid wanted was $4 million. So they guaranteed him $2 million. And let me just say this much: his stats were not that great, and he actually, I'll let Josh tell the story. He actually was thinking about walking away from Tennessee before the playoff game because he wanted more money. And a lot of this is his dad pushing him. You deserve more money, boy. Wow. You go in that office and you tell him to get some more money. Listen what Josh Pate had to say. This was last night on Josh Pate.
To mention that this past December, cats like Nico Iamaleava almost held out of playoff games because they were trying to renegotiate contracts in the middle of a playoff run. He wasn't the only one. But just understand, all these people who cannot take a piss without getting the front of their pants wet, that claim to know what's best for this sport and claim to be visionaries, and boy, they can type a lot of words per minute, can't they? They have not the slightest clue what's best for this sport. And so we've taken the stance on this show for the past several months that we'll just ignore them. I don't really care. I don't care if you label me anti-players' rights. I don't care. I am pro-college football.
Amen. Amen. I love Josh Pate, number one, because he is a self-made number one podcaster for college. That's my go-to guy. If you want a true look at, college football, Josh Pate is the guy. And can you imagine a kid going into a coach's office and saying, I need more money, or I'm not going to play in this playoff game? Now, the coach is trying to do everything in his ability to win the game.
Right.
We have created a monster with this NIL BS.
I said that from the beginning.
I said it from the beginning. Do players deserve to make a little money? Yes. What's going on today is a nightmare. And what's going to happen? You are going to have a handful of teams that raise the most money that are able to compete. And you want me to name them? Georgia, Ohio State, Texas.
Alabama.
Texas A&M's got a buttload of money. Alabama. Did I say Georgia? Yeah. I said Georgia.
Okay, you said Georgia.
LSU's budget for NIL for this season, $18 million. That does not include revenue sharing because Congress passed revenue sharing. And I'm going to tell you something else that holds a lot of this back is Title IX. Because when the government started mandating that football has to pay for soccer and pay for women's basketball and pay for women's softball and gymnastics and all of that, there lies a part of the problem. Do I think all those sports are important? Yes, but I think they should pay their own way. I don't think the burden should be put on football.
I agree.
That's just me. But walking out during a playoff game, what NFL player would do that? And what kind of message does that send to the NFL?
Correct.
I think that they set these maximums or minimums or whatever way too high for these players. You want to do revenue sharing, you want to do all that, cap it at something reasonable because they're college students.
Sure.
So, and make it a little high, right? Okay, 150,000 is all you can get. There nothing more than that.
A year, throughout your college career. Okay.
Like a year.
Okay.
And that takes away all of this $4 million.
I would go with high. I would say, 600,000.
Well, they're college kids though. They're 150,000 is going to be fine. until
you know
for
what,
4
Blake?
years.
And I had no idea the real world because these guys were getting what they call laundry money, and I don't remember how they're getting already a couple $1,000s a month.
Yeah,
but I had no idea. One year it was Thanksgiving, and me and the wife were going to LSU Texas A&M game, so we said let's go to the stadium and take pictures with the grandkids. And so we went, and my daughter drove, and we're at my mother's house. And so the players start getting there because they're loading up because they're taking a bus to Texas A&M. And the cars that they were driving. Yeah. And I never forget, Clyde Edwards-Helaire took a picture with my wife. She's got the picture tonight somewhere, but this dude had a Louis Vuitton duffel bag. And I asked the wife, how much is that Louis Vuitton? She goes, that's a $5,000 bag, easy. Yeah. So they were making money. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Money. I'm not saying they shouldn't get something because their images are being used and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I get that, but it needs to be minimal.
Sure.
Like and
$500,000.
Yeah,
and there needs to be a salary
at the
cap.
most.
And so, what does this do for?
And yes, the salary cap for the entire team as well.
So okay, this might be a total girl question. So what? But what does this do for the NFL? Like, if I'm a college player and I, go to LSU and I demand $2 million.
Tom would be able to answer this. Tom, what was Jaden Daniels or Williams, the guy that went to Chicago? What was his salary last year? Because he was a rookie. What's the maximum?
They get a minimum. They get a minimum salary. Those rookies do anywhere from $2 to $10 million a year.
I'm trying to think.
No, the minimum salary for an NFL player is $795,000.
Yeah, and I'm not looking for the minimum. Rookie maximum. How much a rookie can make.
It depends on their agent and see how much they can negotiate.
No, there is a maximum the rookies can make.
It says on day 2, rookie contracts range from between $1 million to $2.4 million.
Right.
Salary cap. $10 million annually is. Wait. Let me see. Sorry, I'm on Pro Football.
Yeah, I mean there were actually college kids that made more money than pro college quarterbacks. So like Arch Manning, how much is he going to make? $6 million this year?
At least.
That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money. All right, let's talk about the bills that the governor pocket vetoed, and she said no.
I looked at. I wanted to make sure I had the numbers right. There were 18 bills that she outright vetoed, and there were 12 bills that got pocket vetoed.
Oh, okay. So why would she not want tortillas to be the state bread?
That's a really good question.
But she wants all the ones who make the tortillas to be allowed here.
But she wants to pay the minimum.
I just don't know why some of these bills that she said no to.
Well, some of them I know why she said no to.
Well, because and she's getting back. She's getting back at the Democrats. This is a slap in the face to the Democrats.
Yes. But if you notice it and I know you got the list, if you go down that list, there are 3 or 4 that are about making the government more transparent. And she vetoed those so the government will not be transparent.
Legal settlement terms.
Yes.
She doesn't like the idea of publishing legal terms.
She's really mad that she had to give the details from when she grabbed the guy's crotch for that settlement. She's really mad about that.
So she vetoed tax exemption for veterans.
She doesn't like veterans. And it's not like it was like a tax exempt for everything.
Right.
It was just like $10,000 off their property taxes.
Right.
I mean, it
Yes.
wasn't like it was a big thing.
That's awful.
Yeah. It's a
So-
slap in the face to veterans. This governor just slapped veterans in the face.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So, I mean, the governor, you know, and what's crazy is, you know, I could see one or two, but these legislators go there and fight and fight and fight and fight. And then she just goes, nope, not going to have it.
For no reason.
Yeah.
For no
I
reason.
don't get it.
Well,
I don't get it.
And for all the people who drive lowriders or in the lowrider culture, she said, nope, you can't have a license plate.
Yep. Sorry. No license plate for you. House passed the $5.8 billion budget resolution making the Trump tax cuts permanent. Well, let me just say this much. For those, and I see it all the time from the Democrats, well, y'all are giving tax breaks to billionaires. No. See, these are the same tax breaks that passed in 2017 under Trump. That's why they're called the Trump tax cuts. Joe Biden allowed these tax cuts to continue on for 2020, 2021, and 23 and 24. So his entire term, he allowed the same tax cuts. Nothing has changed. Now, I will say this much. Donald Trump said yesterday that at some point we might have to tax billionaires more. We'll see where that goes. But, billionaires are getting the same tax cuts as the middle class and the low class. So it's across the Trump tax cuts are across the board.
Yep.
And the reason you do a tax cut like that is if people have more money in their pocket, they spend the money. Tom, that's the way the economics works, right?
Sure.
They have more money to spend. They keep their. Is that the way it works, Blake? Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. 26,000 fentanyl pills seized during an arrest in Bernalillo County. So 26,000 fentanyl pills off the streets in Albuquerque after sheriff's deputies made a major bust Thursday night in northeast Albuquerque. Sheriff in Bernalillo County, John Allen, says this arrest was made possible thanks to fairly new Route 66 operation. Operation is a joint effort between multiple county agencies to fight crime along Central Avenue.
They've done quite a bit with that Operation Route 66.
Yep. So they were able to arrest about 400 people when this all started. And then they made that big drug bust of that woman that was dealing out of a hotel. When she was moving to the other hotel, they busted her. But 26,000 fentanyl pills off the streets.
That's a lot.
Donald
that's probably
Trump
enough
was
to
at
kill.
UFC.
That's probably enough to kill.
Oh, at least
double that amount of people.
Yeah.
Hey, I do want to clarify something real quick. We were talking about the governor bills before we go on, and I had said the lowrider license plate. It's not they won't be able to license their car. There was a bill to give a lowrider license plate, like a special plate.
Right.
Special license.
And
Special
there was also
deals.
one for the soccer team, and she said no to both of those.
To both of them.
So
But
that's what
I like what-
you can license your car though.
I like what one of the texters said. How is she not going to give lowriders their own kind of license plate, but make that the state car?
Because this is a governor that's very petty and vindictive.
Right.
Oh, and she is. But she could run for president. Donald Trump showed up at UFC 314. That was in Miami on Saturday with his grandkids in tow. And, for all the news about Trump's being hated, people are not supporting him anymore, it just didn't sound like that. And let me just say this. Shaquille O'Neal's a racist. He went right up to Donald Trump and shook his hand and gave him a hug. He's got to be a racist, right?
Well,
He's got to be a racist.
Well, maybe.
That's the left definition.
Yeah.
Yep. Common sense restored. The judge ruled that Mohammed Khalil can be deported. The Louisiana immigration judge cleared the way. He's had his due process, and he will be deported.
Get him out of here.
He was a anti-Israeli agitator while on a guest visa, student visa, and he will be sent back home. Since the Supreme Court ruled last Friday about the other guy that was deported to his home country to a prison, and that guy, Donald Trump said, I will not stand in the way of the Supreme Court. We are going to bring him back. But that does not clear the path for him to stay in the country. What that clears the path for him is to get his due process. And once his due process is over, if they say he can stay, then he will stay. But he's been in the country 11 years. Why hasn't he gotten his paperwork together?
Good question. And these words that they use, anti-Israeli agitator.
Yeah.
What they really mean is racist,
supporter of
Jewish
Hamas.
hater, terrorists, quite possibly Nazis since they were Jewish haters.
Yeah. Supporter of Hamas. That's what he was. That's the way we ought to say it. All right, we're going to talk about All Company fined $18 million. We'll talk about that. Also, Lizzo, she strikes back at Donald Trump at Coachella over the weekend and on an appearance at Saturday Night Live. And big movie over the weekend, #1 movie again. And 3 additional students, international students, had their visas revoked. We'll get to that. Taking out trash on the way, things that happen on this date in history. Let's get to the tweet of the day. We'll come back with the text. Tweet of the day being brought to you by WWRV times3.com, 988-0392. Give them a call today if you're looking for a quiet place to rest and live in Carlsbad. They have 162 RV hookups, 30 and 50 amps available, all utilities included. And they have wired internet right to your hookup, and that's included. They're pet-friendly, very well lit up, 988-0392. Call them for more information or go to the website, WWRV times3.com. It was amazing what happened last week with Bill Maher. You get 2 tweets of the day, by the way. Bill Maher talking about visiting the White House. Listen to what he had to say, and the liberals are hating. They're eating their own.
Powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute. So, thank you. So meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog, his show is dead. 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it.
I like that.
He did. Which he did with good humor. And I know as I say that.
So one
That's
thing
awesome.
that he said was that he voted for Barack Obama. And he voted for Bill Clinton. But he said Donald Trump, he was more comfortable talking to Donald Trump than either of those guys.
He said he would never have been able to talk to them the way that he talked to Donald
No.
Trump.
Because
So
Donald
he
Trump
went
is
on
real.
to-
Yes.
Yeah, he is real. And that's what he alludes to in part 2.
And he said You know, I've heard from a lot of people who really like that we're having this dinner. Not all, but a lot. And I said, same. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not all. And we agreed. The people who don't even want us to talk, we don't like you. Don't talk, as opposed to what? Writing the same editorial for the millionth time and making 25-hour speeches into the wind? Really, that's what liberals have? He takes the piss out of everybody else and we can hold ours? Okay, that's my report. You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured, and why he isn't that in other settings, I don't know, and I can't answer, and it's not my place to answer. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high.
Well, he does have a history.
Damn, missed opportunity.
And he said he got merged from Trump, and he said, you know, it was a great experience. Great experience. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy.
You know, I bet he frames that list.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Oh, absolutely.
That's gonna be like centerpiece on something.
You know,
in his,
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You get a signature of the president of the United States and all the crap he said about you.
That is
all right, let me
genius.
get to tweet of the day this morning being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, 575-622-4160. 40 years of experience in Southeast New Mexico. Dependable, reliable, boom or bust. They are there for you, delivering to Southeast New Mexico. Diesel, gas, interstate batteries. If you need any of that and you're on location, they go on-road or off-road. Go to wakefieldOil.com or 575-622-4160. Thought for the day: nothing makes me down a couple notches quicker than winding a garden hose or fixing a water pump. Either one of those takes me down very quick. But I'm not a quitter. You can say what you want about me. I'm not a quitter. I continue to fight. All right, oil company fined a record $18 million defying the state's order to stop work on a pipeline. This happened in California. Santa Barbara, California. The new owners say they don't need new permits for repairs. By the way, the Coastal Commission, they thought a little different. In fact, they fined the oil company $18 million. By the way, that offshore pipeline gushes more than 100,000 gallons of crude to the coastal lands, and it's a big deal. So, do they need a permit? I don't know, but they're defying the order from the state. Sorry. Minecraft, big movie. Last did $300 million globally last year. Last week.
Mm-hmm.
Took in $80.6 million for the second week.
Strong second week.
Wow.
King of Kings, which is a faith-based animated movie, came in at number 2.
Wow.
And I watched Mobland for the second week. No more 1923. No more Reacher. Mobland. Badass. Is. Looks like Lizzo. Lizzo took a jab at President Trump over the weekend, appearing on Saturday Night Live, cladded with a crop top that said terrified. Terrified.
I think she was
taking a hit at Donald Trump.
Yeah, it was taking a hit at Donald Trump, but if you look at her in her outfit, you would be terrified.
Okay, wait, rewind.
Yeah.
What did it have on it?
It was terrified, but it was spelled like tariff.
Like tariff.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And so you don't know if she's really taking a jab or if she really just doesn't know how to spell.
Sure.
Let me just say this much. I love big women. I do. I love old women.
Yeah.
But crop tops are a little different.
Yes.
Tom, would you wear a crop top?
What's that?
Like an Emmitt Smith half shirt?
A half shirt.
And go to McDonald's? Would you do that?
No, if I'm going to wear something, I'm going to wear nothing.
Oh, okay. Looks like New Mexico State University has confirmed that 3 more international students, their visas have been revoked, bringing the total number at that university to 9. Whoa. By the way, ACLU plans to file. We're going to sue the government. We need the foreigners to stay here. Now, we don't know, and each one of these will have due process for sure. All right, 6:59, be on the Breakfast Club. Price of oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker Cementing Solutions, a division of Cud Energy Services. Check them out today. They've got 200 experienced cementing professionals and 25 crews in New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. They work with the largest drilling programs. Get in touch with them today, SpinnakerOil.com, or stop by Magnum Industrial Road in Hobbs.
West Texas Intermediate, $62.36. Brent crude at $64.35. And the price of natural gas is $3.43. B.
All right, straight up 7 o'clock, KWMW Malchamora, 105.1 FM, 93.5 KWES Ruidoso. And you can find us at KDAZ AM 700 FM 96.9 in Albuquerque. Text line, then we'll talk about 300 passengers left stranded on the tarmac overnight. We'll talk about that. New Mexico Immigrants' Rights Group is suing the IRS, and the governor traveling to Asia. And folks that have a green card can become law enforcement agents in New Mexico. And Donald Trump putting forth a military buffer zone in New Mexico. We'll get to that next.
All right, Texter says, completely disagree on the payment to college players. They say education is being paid. So what, says the texter. I mean, so are grants and scholarships and federal aid for non-athletic athletes, says the text. The university coaches, NCAA, they make billions off endorsement segments too. So pay the kids, says the text. Mm-hmm.
And run the sport.
Yeah.
Cole Hanlon said those college kids need to learn that low-class strippers are just as good as high-class strippers. Close your eyes and fantasize. So these players are getting paid and a free college tuition?
That's what I said.
Yes.
Jody from Lovington said as soon as they started paying the college players, it changed college ball.
It did.
Agreed.
It did.
Mario sent in a couple of pictures over the weekend. Says Tom should be embarrassed. Parking in a handicapped spot, being a public radio station figure. No picture shows a handicap tag hanging from his rearview mirror. You got busted.
All right, now the rest of the story. This radio guy has arthritic knees.
Do you have a handicap placard?
Wait a minute.
Do you have a handicap
I'm working
placard?
on it. And
then you can't park there.
Well, I was going to park
there.
there.
That's the law.
Well, the law.
Wait. You have arthritic knees.
Yes, I do.
Do you have a
So
handicap
does
placard?
most 60-year-old people out there. We all have arthritic knees.
I was in there for 2 minutes.
It doesn't
to get some
matter.
water, and boom, I'm out of there.
It doesn't matter. You can't park in a handicap
Well, I
spot
did, and
if
I
you
will
don't have the
continue to
placard.
do so too.
Shame
A la
on.
máquina.
Yes, sir.
Corey, can you please come have the deputies give him a citation for
I
that?
can't move,
Blake's
I'm
calling.
going to do that.
calling
I
you
hate
out.
people that do that.
I don't know.
Shame
I don't
on
always
you.
do it, but when I'm
You
hurting,
shouldn't
I'm
ever
going
do
to.
it.
Shame on you.
I'm not
Shame
I'm not
on you.
embarrassed. But
So
yesterday-
that person with a wheelchair is going to have to find
wait a
somewhere
minute.
else.
But wait a minute. Yesterday, when I went back
No.
to that store, there was this long truck that parked vertically and blocked all the handicap access.
They were wrong, too.
This poor lady was.
Oh,
trying-
so now you're going to blame it on somebody
so
else.
I went into the store and got the little buggy for her so she could go into the
That
store.
doesn't excuse
Oh,
you
no,
for
no, no.
doing
There-
wrong.
no.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to get a handicap sticker,
It's
honestly.
very easy
Well, I don't know how to do
in
it.
this state.
So I'm asking my doctor when I go see him.
Yeah, do it, honestly.
And then if you have a handicap
I have
placard, then you can
arthritic
legally park
knees.
there.
So I'm guilty. Okay.
You know
but
what? I'm just
I could
going to
move.
say it because I say the things that everybody wants to say, but they're afraid to say. If you wouldn't be putting a strain on your knees, they wouldn't hurt as bad.
All right.
Just saying,
Let's get
your
to-
body is not built to hold 300 pounds.
And it's also a 65-year-old body, too.
Your body is not built to hold 300 pounds.
I was an athlete back in the day.
Yes, I am the a-hole that will say it, and nobody else will say it. Your
Okay.
body is not built to hold 300 pounds.
All right, so Tommy, you got in trouble.
That's sad, bro. That's
Okay,
sad.
I'm not denying
Done
it.
a
Did
lot
I
of
deny it?
sad things. That is sad.
So now the public's going to be watching you to make sure you're
That's
not parked in handicapped spots.
Well, good for them.
If you see him park in a handicapped
this is what
spot,
happens,
report him.
Tom. When you promote yourself as a public figure, as a celebrity, and then you go and do, excuse my language, crap like that, you're gonna get called out
Okay,
on it.
I am not perfect.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you live in the public eye,
But
like
you're
people know who you are.
unapologetic about it,
Right.
bro.
Bingo.
You're
You nailed it.
unapologetic.
I already apologized for
That's
it.
No, you didn't.
But
Okay.
I want to apologize
You
for
got
my health.
mad at getting caught.
No, I
you didn't
didn't.
apologize at all.
You're a Democrat, bro. No doubt. Continue.
I love whenever you,
Oh,
that's all you
happens,
have
man.
to say. All right, John from Eunice, he's a little peeved about the lowrider issue. Good morning, guys, and Monica. It's said that in the paper she didn't approve that lowrider license plate because we already have a selection of 40 plates in New Mexico, and I wasn't aware we had 40 plates. I thought we had like 10. And have y'all noticed how this Doge deal has made the war in Ukraine go away, and the Epstein files go away, and the JFK files go away? And how all of this fraud and abuse has been found and not one person has gone to jail yet? What the hell? Said John from Eunice. I've been waiting for that too. I was actually thinking about that just out of nowhere the other day.
I think they're being very careful with the Epstein list because Cash Patel hadn't seen the exact list. So Bondi gave it to him. I don't know. I'm praying to God that something happens and happens soon. And by the way, I'm still waiting on my checks too. My Doge money.
Okay.
I want my 5,000.
This one, talking about tariffs. I don't know who she is, but if she's got enough room to spell the word terrified on a crop top, she has to be a really big woman. Foghorn.
You know that's right.
Uh-huh. And someone said the only thing that's terrified is Lizzo's scale, said Eddie D. Eddie D.
Well, let's be fair. She's not like super obese. She's just a large woman.
Listen, this is what
She's
I
a big
don't.
girl.
This is what I don't like about big women, because I was once a big woman.
You
I
were?
mean, I wasn't as big as you, but I was big. See, the thing that big women get a pass with is like this I'm big and beautiful sort of type bullshit. No, girl, you big and unhealthy. You big and need to go for a little walk. You big and need to put that cheeseburger down. Like, there's a difference between healthy.
You know,
And
I don't know what happened to this cut, but I did a cut.
she's a big girl,
I-
but still, like,
I don't know what happened to
I think
it.
that's why
I'm
big
gonna,
girls-
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
that's why big girls
Because
have the
this-
attitude that they have now. Like, oh, I'm big and
This
beautiful.
woman
like,
is talking about there's nothing wrong with her body, that the seats are too small. And look, I fly a lot, but the seats aren't too small for me. No, I wish I had a little bit more room, but I mean, if they're too small for you, then just maybe fly first class.
Sure.
I mean, but you shouldn't ask everybody to change
Correct.
because you're big. We're not going to change for you. You should change for yourself. I don't know where this woman went, but I had her. But I'll find it coming up. Continue, Monica.
Okay. Let me get back. There's still. Don't back down, Tom. Give them hell, said Blake, a wannabe.
And Nick from the patch said, did Monica just say be bull S-H-I?
Yes,
Or both
but we
spin?
hit the button, didn't we?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell, she said.
Tom
Monica.
getting busted and getting all mad about it. LOL.
Indignant.
Is it true about AOC and her dead mother's checks? This one text.
No, that's a fake news story.
Okay. And Tom, as a handicapped person who has had 3 strokes and part of my brain taken out, I hate large, lazy people who take up the handicap spots, and I have to park out in the middle of the parking lot using my walker. Lazy
Amen.
people.
I agree with
said
him.
Caveman
I agree
Stone
with
Man.
you.
Yeah, he's talking about you.
Agree.
He's not talking about me.
He is talking about you.
Okay, Tom gets
No,
more
sir.
upset about the handicap parking than when Monica saw that porn on his phone. He sure did. He sure did. And Tom will never read any of our texts again because you called him out, man. Thank goodness Monica is there, said Tom Lahader.
There we go. All right, let me get to some of these stories. 300 Delta passengers left stranded on the tarmac overnight after storms diverted the plane to the airport without customs. Delta left 300 passengers on the plane overnight because it was diverted. It was international flights that were diverted to a regional airport without customs. So the 2 Delta flights departed Mexico for Atlanta, Georgia on Thursday, and instead they had to be diverted to a regional airport in Alabama. But they had no customs at the airport, and since they were coming from a foreign country, they couldn't deplane.
Right.
So they were eventually able to, get the plane going. But can you imagine spending the night on the plane? Well, I mean, I've spent 20 hours on a plane. Well, close.
And it also
18
depends.
hours.
It depends on the plane. I mean,
But once they're parked, they get hot. The air condition doesn't work properly.
well, I'm sure they had. That's true, but I'm sure they left it running so it would go as much as it could.
Man. New Mexico Immigration Rights Group joins a lawsuit against the IRS and the Department of Homeland Security agreement. Wait, you're going to sue the IRS not to give the Department of Homeland Security. Those are both federal entities, right, Tom?
Yes.
So the director of the Un Pueblo Unda is joining that lawsuit. 15,000 immigrants in New Mexico with ITIN numbers are very scared that the federal government will turn over their information to the IRS. Okay. You know what? I think that the federal government should have shared access. Shared access. Now, you might need a top-notch, higher security clearance, but shared access. New Mexico governor traveling to Asia for discussions. This is a terrible time for her to go to Japan and Singapore.
Well, she's got to get out of the state. She got to get out.
It is a trade mission aimed at promoting the state's leadership in advanced and energy technologies and exporting gas, natural gas. Now,
LNG.
Haven't we done this before?
Yes.
We've done it before. Have we gotten anywhere, though?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so. So the governor is scheduled to return to America April 29th. New Mexico State expands who can become a law enforcement officer. So if you are a legal citizen, a legal entity, you can actually become a police officer now.
Mm-hmm. Green card is all you
So
need.
if you have a green card, but it also says DACA recipients are eligible to become police officers.
Yeah,
They say
I'm
we have
okay with that. If you're going to let green card holders, I'm okay with DACA.
Yeah. We have 51,000 or more New Mexicans who now are eligible to work for law enforcement. That according to Senator Cindy Nava. And she says she looks at other states like Texas and Arizona, people that want to become a police officer to flood to New Mexico to do so because they can't become police officers in Arizona or Texas. We'll see how that works. And Trump orders a military buffer zone. This is a KRQE story, but another story talked about they're going to, what was the wording on that story? They're going to take back. It's federal land. It's their property.
Yeah.
But the military buffer zone is going to be on the southern border. And the military will be in charge of 60-foot wide strip of land that actually stretches from California to New Mexico.
Yeah, let me see what their exact
they're only
wording
taking,
was.
60 feet, 60 feet wide, but it goes from California to New Mexico. And some of that passes through federal Indian reservations. And so they're going to install detection equipment, monitoring equipment, and much more. So the governor is not real happy about it.
No, and they're really upset too because Trump declared a national emergency at the border.
Right.
So therefore they do that. And then according to this, it says may make withdrawals, reservations, and restrictions of public lands to provide for utilization of public lands by the Department of Defense in that 60 feet. So
they say the Department of Defense has 45 days to review the first phase of the memo and its implementation. So look for that to happen within the next 60 days.
So we may get 60 feet of like where half tracks or tanks or Jeeps or whatever can go through there. But then you'll probably have a fence on the other side of that too, like a razor wire or a Constantine type fence. Sure. So you have like a real buffer zone.
Yeah.
Which, of course, this governor
we're
hates.
Going to talk, when we come back, we'll talk about Hakeem Jeffries blasting Pete Hegseth, called him an extremist and called him dumb. Have you seen the schools that this guy went to? Harvard, Princeton. You don't get into Harvard and Princeton if you're dumb. Last time I checked. Colorado has a brand new gun control law. We'll talk about that. Florida woman accused of selling human bones on Facebook. We'll tell you about that. And Democratic states blamed for about $400 million in unemployment fraud over the last 4 years. I'll tell you what 4 states they are. New Mexico was not listed as one of those states. And we've got to talk to Kevin O'Reilly. What's his name? Kevin
O'Leary.
From Shark Tank. O'Leary. He's talking about China and how they steal American ideas. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across southeast New Mexico. Exceptional construction and siding services. They offer residential services and they offer construction of commercial and industrial metal buildings. From start to finish, they get it done. And they get it done right. Don't settle for anything less. Seminole Siding and Construction, they can take care of your siding, your roof, your windows, your doors, your seamless gutters, and, of course, metal buildings, too. 575-391-1430 or go to SeminoleSidingAndConstruction.com. Let's get updated, find out what's going on with news being brought to you by Fenn's Country Market. Fenn's, of course, has big specials going on right now in the produce department. Get red ripe tomatoes, just 99 cents a pound. Also, flat leaf spinach, 99 cents a bunch. Seedless grapes, red and black, $1.99 a pound. Avocados, just $2 for $4. And from the meat department, get boneless pork loin for $1.77 a pound. Tilapia, $3.97 a pound. Also, boneless beef chuck roast, $4.99 a pound. Boneless breast tenders for $2.49 a pound. And if you're looking for a lunch meat and that type of stuff from the deli. They've got smoked ham, $4.99 a pound, turkey breast $5.99 a pound, beef bologna $4.99 a pound. They always have all your tortillas made from scratch multiple times a day. Get in there today, and a full stock liquor department. Right now, you can get Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, 16-ounce cans, 18-pack for $16.99. Check them out today at Ben's. We'll be back at 7:18. We're BN the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. Hobbs Police Chief August Fons announced a change to the department via an email that revealed nearly 1/3 of the city's certified officer positions are vacant. Also, 24% of HPD's civilian support staff is also currently vacant. To address the 45 vacant positions, there are plans to create brochures and social media content for recruitment. In addition to restructuring and recruitment, the department is also seeking to add an additional deputy chief position. The New Mexico Department of Health announced 2 new cases of measles in Lee County, bringing the state total to 58 cases, and Lee County total to 55. Eddy County has reported 2 cases, and Chavez County has reported 1. In Texas, the Texas Department of State Health Services reported there are now 541 confirmed measles cases in the South Plains region since the outbreak began in January. 355 of those cases have been in Gaines County, 47 cases in Terry County, and 38 cases in Lubbock County. And 16 bills that passed the New Mexico House of Representatives and Senate became victims of Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's veto pen on Friday. Bills vetoed by Lujan Grisham on Friday include Senate Bill 315 to make the tortilla the official state bread, Senate Bill 327 and Senate Bill 377, which would have issued license plates celebrating the lowrider and the New Mexico United Soccer Team, respectively. HB 36, Board of Optometry Powers and Duties, HB 77, Annual Federal SNAP State Outreach Plans, HB 120, Accessibility of State Agencies, HB 143, Lobbying Activity Reports, HB 181, State Trust Program Accountability Plan, HB 191, Wildfire Suppression and Preparedness Funds, HB 219, Slot Canyon Riverland State Park, HB 269, Healthcare Authority Visit Verification, HB 433, Study Career and Technical Education, HB 494, Tax Exemptions for Veterans, Senate Bill 142, Grid Modernization Roadmap, and Senate Bill 220, Publication of Legal Settlement Terms. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
What is the Safe Haven Law? In New Mexico, you can bring your infant up to 90 days old to any Safe Haven site without fear of being criminally charged. This includes hospitals, fire stations, and police departments. Monica Kelsey, founder of Safe Haven Baby Boxes, has worked diligently to provide 3 baby box locations for your convenience. Hobbs's Baby Box is at Fire Station 1, 301 East White Street. Carlsbad's Baby Box is at Fire Department Station 1, 401 South Jalagueno Street. Roswell's Baby Box is at their Central Fire Station, 200 South Richardson Avenue. Remember, if you can't make it to one of these Safe Haven Baby Box locations, you can take your infant to any hospital, police department, or fire station. No shame, no blame, and no names. Visit shbb.org for more information.
Looking for oil field, industrial, and safety supplies? Go to America Supply. Need cleaning supplies? America Supply has that too. How about restaurant and food truck supplies? Are you beginning to see a trend here? America Supply carries everything from H2S and quad monitors, fire extinguishers and first aid kits, to safety glasses, vests, FR clothing, fall protection, and gloves of all types. They have your slings and whip checks, your lift straps and cam locks, your adapters, pipe fittings, and threaders. They have many name brands like Lockout, Tagout, Pelican, Milwaukee, Rigid, and so many more. Visit America Supply to find exactly what you're looking for and then some. 502 North Grimes and Hobbs under the Big American Eagle, or call 575-393-3383.
You know Benny's Western Store in Artesia is your headquarters for boots, hats, shirts, and jeans, but did you know that Benny's also carries a huge assortment of firearms? Head down to 205 West Main to see the amazing discounts that are available on their firearms and ammo. Benny's also has a huge shipment of jewelry and FR clothing that is priced to sell. New items arriving weekly. You won't find a bigger selection at a better price anywhere. Benny's Western Store, 205 West Main in Artesia, or find them on Facebook.
Now open at the Western Heritage Museum and Lee County Cowboy Hall of Fame. Enjoy Prometheus in the Desert, the Dawn of the Nuclear Age, an immersive exhibit that tells the history and science of the atomic bomb and the end of World War II. exhibit includes props and costumes from the film Oppenheimer, a spare shell casing of Little Boy, and an interactive timeline. The Western Heritage Museum is located on the New Mexico Junior College campus at 1 Thunderbird Circle, Hobbs. Open daily 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Cal Shade Western in Carlsbad is now hiring for all positions. We're looking for hard-working, dependable folks to join our team as bartenders, waitresses, front desk attendants, bowling alley mechanics, pin chasers, security, cleaners, and stock handlers. Whether you're pouring drinks or keeping the pins rolling, or you just want to help our guests have a great time, there's a place for you in Cal Shade Western. Apply today in person at 1611 South Canal Street in Carlsbad. 1611 South Canal Street in Carlsbad. Honest, dependable people only. This is your chance to shine. Cal Shade Western, where work feels like home. Don't wait. Apply today.
New year, new ride, New Mexico. Ready to kick off 2025 with a car that looks brand new? Mighty Wash has just the thing for you. Start fresh with our Express Interior package for just $60. This includes a full interior wipe down, tire shine, windows cleaned inside and out, door jambs detailed, vacuuming of all rows, and a free Wonder Clean wash with complete hand dry. Want the works? Treat your car to our complete detail package. It's got everything in the Express Interior plus seat and carpet shampoo, wheel and tire cleaning, and a premium wax. And it comes with our top-tier Mighty Protector wash for the ultimate shine. Don't let your car roll into 2025 stuck in the past. Refresh your ride with Mighty Wash. Clean car, fresh start, New Mexico. Let's make this year your car's best year yet.
Every weekday morning.
When I was 10, I lost my left testicle in a karate accident.
Don't miss the fun.
This show is powered by Permian Ford. Stop by and see Daniel Vellis today. If you're flirting with Tom A., please let him know.
Slow down a little bit. There's a few people in the room that don't understand.
Call or text now 877-396-W105 to talk to B, Tom, Blake, or Monica.
I feel smarter already.
No, back to B and the Breakfast Club.
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
This is not headline news. Katy Perry will fly to the edge of space today. Asked what she's looking forward to the most, she replied, no shoulder pain. Mick Jagger says he's been engaged for years. He didn't reveal it until now because it took that long for him to get up from one knee. There's been a trend of teens causing chaos at a Minecraft movie. That news update brought to you by Birth Control. And the director of Weekend at Bernie's has died. He actually passed on Thursday, but in his honor, everyone pretended he was still alive until this morning. This is not headline news.
And good morning. It's 7:25. Tom, I'm just wondering, somewhere at the senior citizen, one of those seniors is like, good for you, Tom. Way to buck the system, parking in the handicap zone. Way to go. That a boy.
Oh, by the time I go eat lunch, they're already taken, so I have to park somewhere else.
You get all pissed.
So, but these things with everybody judging me today, I'll tell you this much. You guys with those
No,
you guys,
no. You are part of the problem. When people do wrong, they should be judged.
No, but those guys with the place cards never give to those poor people at the parking lots that need some money or they need a food or something.
So now you're saying
I
you're
always do
the
that.
poor people at the parking lot.
I always do.
Is that what you're saying?
I've never seen them help nobody except for me.
What?
And so maybe once in a while.
Wait. I've never seen him help nobody except for me.
Yeah.
So you're one of the people out there asking for money?
I'll help him. I'll help him with coffee or a breakfast sandwich or give him a couple dollars if I got him on me. So if I get,
what does this have to do with you parking in a handicap space?
So if I need to use a parking space without a handicap deal, guess what? Because
still illegal.
Because my knees are hurting or I can't move.
Nope.
Guess what?
Nope.
I'll try to get as far away from them as I can. But if I can't, hey, do what you got to do.
So let me.
Here's a great bit of advice. Every day I wake up.
Here we go again.
I don't need a handicap parking space because there's somebody in a wheelchair that needs it a hell of a lot more than I do.
Or maybe not even a wheelchair. They just have difficulties. But they went through the process and got the legal right to park there. You did not.
Well, I'm working on it. How about that?
You
but you're not.
lazy.
Because it's getting worse.
You're not working on it until you do it.
Because it's getting worse. Because I've been putting it off because I'm a trooper.
Lazy.
I'm
You're
a
not
trooper.
a damn trooper.
Yeah, I'm a trooper.
You took a damn parking space
I'm a trooper.
from that poor
Trooper.
lady that couldn't get out of the car because of you.
No.
Or someone else who went through the process, did the right thing, has difficulty maneuvering or walking or even unloading.
And where I was parked there wasn't even a handicap zone deal.
That is a handicap zone.
There was one other
So
parking
sad.
space there.
And
that
they both have a big painted
that you can
wheelchair
use,
in them.
That is not a wheelchair accessible. You can
Those
use
parking
that.
spots are for handicap.
Sad. You can make every excuse. This is how I know you're a Democrat.
How's that?
You try to rewrite the law to fit whatever narrative you have. There you go. If anybody ever thought different, there you go. Right there.
Listen, Tom.
728. Yeah. All right, morning show this morning. What's that?
I thought you wanted us to go into text. I apologize.
No, not yet. 728 morning show this morning being brought to you by Maine Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Maine Trailer Sales. Passport, Durango, Cougar, big name brands, fifth wheels, toy haulers, ultralights. If you're working in the patch, getting that per diem, living in a hotel, we know that's not fun. It's fun for the first week, and then it's not really fun. Get yourself a fifth wheel. You know, if you're getting paid the per diem, at the end of a year, you got a big old stack of receipts from the hotel room, or you could be putting money to pay down the debt for your fifth wheel. It's a great way to think about it. Check the website out, MaineTrailerSalesInc.com, 622-1751. They've been in business 70 years. Go check out the website. Every unit they have, new and pre-owned, is up on that website. 70 years of doing business, giving great service after the sale and fair pricing. MaineTrailerSalesInc.com. Looks like among teens reporting artificial intelligence, 69% said it helps them learn new things. I'm guessing new things is how to cheat on your homework. I see older generations like Tom looking at ChatGPT and shaking their head, mainly because they're jealous that they wish they could have had GPT to write essays for them back in the day. I'm not hating on the kids for doing it. Recent survey finds the average person starts to panic if their phone drops below 38% battery life. This is further proof that these people have no life. Well, I don't know about that. I got a life, but still, I like having battery. That's just me. And Jack Nicholson. Haven't heard anything about Jack Nicholson in a long time, but Angelica Hudson is his ex.
Right.
Out of the blue, he called her because she was in the evacuation zone during the devastating Los Angeles fires.
Okay.
And he offered her his home, one of his homes, for the duration of, as long as she had to stay there, it was hers to stay, he said. That's pretty cool.
That's nice.
And third season of White Lotus, they're saying a lot of tension was going on the set between Walter Goggins and Amy Lou Wood, who play a love interest. So there was a lot of fighting. And the Democratic Senator Michael Bennet is going to run for governor of Colorado. Colorado needs help. Colorado needs a lot of help. Did you see the new gun control law that just passed?
No.
They want to curb the AR-15's firepower. So Colorado took a unprecedented approach to the dilemma of gun control and limiting the firepower of the AR-15. Colorado's governor, a Democrat, this week signed one of the strictest gun laws in the nation. The law prohibits the sale of a range of firearms with a detachable magazine, a feature the AR-15, of course, has, and other modern firearms. Coloradoans would only be allowed to purchase such a gun if they apply for a special license and receive special training. Gun control groups hail this to be a measure of helping stop mass shootings.
Wow.
How many mass shootings do you think this will stop?
None. They're gonna get different.
I'm going to be honest with you. Every criminal in the world knows how to get a gun.
Yep.
Correct.
I could probably go to Albuquerque with a pocket full of money and probably buy a AR with a maybe a larger magazine than what came with that gun. I would say give me 6 hours. You think I can do that? 6 hours?
I do.
Yeah. So this is not going to do anything. Criminals will not stop killing people. All you're doing is putting burden on upstanding citizens. But you guys don't care. All right, Joaquin Jeffries had this to say, a racial rant. Here's what he had to say about Pete Hegseth. Here's what he said. Kind of racist. Yeah.
DEI hires in the Trump administration, like Pete Hegseth, the so-called Secretary of Defense, dumb effing individuals, continue to try to test our resolve and cancel our history. The latest is a book ban at the Naval Academy that removes works, including those about slavery, the civil rights movement, and the Holocaust. At the same time, keeping books written by Adolf Hitler. Apparently, for these extremists, racist Nazi ideology and white supremacy is okay. We're going to keep the pressure on these extremists.
All right. I'm going to start with Pete. Pete has actually went to Princeton and Harvard. You do not get into Princeton and Harvard if you're dumb.
Right.
You don't.
Nope.
I looked up what school he went to, and he went into, I think it was Brooklyn College. He did go to Georgetown. Georgetown's a good school. I'm not going to, but he is a race baiter at best. I mean, what would I expect from Malcolm X's nephew? That's who he is. Pete Hegseth is an extremist, banning books. Didn't Adolf Hitler only write one book?
Mein Kampf.
That he wrote when he was in prison? I think it was one.
Mein Kampf.
He said books. I don't know anything about the other books, and the problem is most of the time when I look stuff like this up, it's not true. I didn't have time to look it up, so I don't know if it's true or not true. Florida woman accused of selling human bones on Facebook. Some as low as $35. You want some human bones? We'll sell them to you. Kimberly Schwapper, 52 years old, charged with trading in human tissue. Orange City, Florida police arrested her after she was selling human bones on Facebook. By the way, the business was identified as Wicked Wonderland. You want a skull? $90. Want a rib? $35. Vertebrae? $35.
How is she
partial?
How is she proving that they're in fact human remains?
Well, yeah, I mean, like a human, I would think that if it's a skull, that's a human skull.
True, yeah.
Yeah, other bones you could probably, and by the way, they did test them and discovered that it was,
were? Oh, God.
Yeah. Where she was getting the bones, we don't know.
That's crazy.
We don't know. But they did
vibes.
say, One bone was over 100 years old. Another one was over 500 years old. Her bond, $7,500. Democrats are to blame for $400 million in unemployment fraud over the last 4 years. Doge discovered this last Thursday. And most of the states that were the victims of this unemployment fraud, California, New York, and Massachusetts. So California accounted for 68% of the fraud.
Wow.
Remember on Friday, we talked about that there were actually kids that aren't even born that were getting unemployment benefits? California, 68% of the fraud. All right, we're going to talk about a New Mexico State basketball player. Looks like granted a stay in his case. We'll hear from Kevin O'Reilly coming up next. Tom and the Tex Morning Show this morning being brought to you by Atlas Makeup Mirror and Grooming Tool. They've got a brand new item. You got to go check it out on the web, atlasmakeupmirror.com. Go to Facebook and Instagram. There are videos up right now. It's the pocket mirror. Yeah, you love the Atlas Makeup Mirror. They now have the pocket mirror. And it fits in your back pocket or in your purse. Very bright and high-quality mirror that, is perfect when you need it small enough to fit in your pocket or in your purse. Call and talk to Rebecca Long today. 575-631-3189. The Atlas Makeup Mirror and Grooming Tool, the original Atlas Makeup Mirror. ×1, ×5, ×10 magnification with LED lights. This thing comes with a traveling case. It weighs less than 4 pounds. Talk to Rebecca today. 575-631-3189. Go to the website, atlasmakeupmirror.com. 21 away from 8, Tom and the Tex.
John from Eunice is chiming in. Hey, guys, Joaquin Jeffries is a puny little man. He's trying to be irrelevant. All the Democrats are spewing the same exact rhetoric. Trump is a Nazi, and everybody in his party is a Nazi. That's all they have is hate and fear, says John.
Well, one party resembles the Nazi Party and even calls themselves democratic socialists like the Nazi Party did. And the other one does things that's against what the Nazi Party stood for. You tell me who the Nazis are.
Right. This texter says, this Frank in the patch says, bones in South Texas are used for the witchcraft Santeria, he says. Wow. And Big Blue Origin just launched the all-female flight to space.
Actually, they're coming back down right now.
Are they really?
Turn and look, Tom.
Oh, wow. Something happened.
No, it was only supposed to be an
It was a short flight.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They weren't
Yeah, it's not like they're going to the Space Center.
Where did they say she's landing?
They were
Or they're
suborbital.
landing?
I think it's New Mexico.
I was going to say, because his last one landed in New Mexico.
Where the booster rocket came back down and landed.
Yeah.
It looked like out there at the spaceport.
Doesn't it launch from outside of El Paso? Correct.
Van Horn, isn't it?
It might.
I thought it.
I mean, technically that area kind of looks the same, but it just touched back down. But the mountains in the background where those people are, that looks like the spaceport.
Let me just say this much. It's not like Elon Musk going up into space to save the astronauts. Just doesn't have the same.
Well, they didn't. Technically, they were in space but it was a suborbital flight.
Right. Yeah.
So they weren't like really in space.
They didn't go to.
They didn't go like this, like you said, like the space station. You know, they go the same as some of those planes can go really high, and that's kind of where they were.
So it's no big deal, really. Anybody can do it.
Not anyone.
For $200,000.
Yeah, if you got enough money, I guess.
Right. All right. Other text. I guess the governor's getting used to. I guess the governor's going to get used to the shipping port just north of the Red Bluff, says the texter, and won't export the natural gas.
Shipping port.
I don't know what that means.
In Red Bluff. Where's Red Bluff anyway? Anyway, the texter says that the space thing is in Van Horn.
That could be right.
Yeah,
Those
so
would be the
I thought.
Davis Mountains.
Yeah. So I thought I recognized Van. There was a lot of desert out there.
Well, it looks. I mean, to be fair, that kind of looks the same.
Yeah. B.
No. You're missing a lot.
Monica has a bunch.
Bruh, Tom is like, I ran a person over. Well, my knees were hurting. It is what it is. LOL.
Yeah, I killed somebody because I fell asleep at the wheel. Big deal. Okay?
Is Tom
I
saying
have
that?
sleep apnea.
Is Tom saying that he parked in the crisscrossing lines that separate them? That's even worse. LOL. I've seen people
What if
park.
he parks in the pregnancy zones? And you know how some people, some places have like for expecting mothers?
Yeah.
Mess with expecting mothers. They will beat your ass. You don't want to mess with a hormonal woman, Tom. Trust me.
And I got a bone to pick with I was at 2 restaurants this week, and mothers had some new infants in there, and they were breastfeeding them in the restaurant. In front of me.
So look away if you don't like
Whatever.
it.
You know, you were hoping when
Look
you'd catch
away
one
if you
slip.
don't like it.
No, they're going to feed.
Look away
You
if
know,
you don't.
deep
You
down
were
inside.
feeding.
Feed at home.
You
You
were
know what?
feeding.
This is what you do. You try to
Deflect.
change the subject
No, it's true.
to get away from what you did.
It's true.
No. Deep down inside, you were like, "Ooh, I wish I was."
No,
I have no problem with a
wish that
woman
would just slip out
breastfeeding.
right now.
The baby's hungry. Let her breastfeed.
I don't either, but just keep it at
Okay,
home.
Why
let
don't
me, really
you
quick,
keep
let
yours
me wrap
at home?
these up because I'm just going to tell you, Tom, that you have a lot of people who are not okay with you parking in a handicap parking spot. Now,
Be
I'm
judgmental. I don't care.
I'm going to say that I semi agree with them because they did come off harsh and call you a lot of names and whatnot. I wouldn't do all that, but I do say it's not okay for people who truly are handicapped and then they, don't have a
Well, there's
parking
some
spot
people that
because
got
yours-
place cards that are not handicapped and they abuse them. Believe
Okay,
me.
that's on them
I've seen
though.
it.
That's on them, but you can't
I've
base
seen
your
them.
decisions on
You
their-
don't know that they abuse it.
Well, they don't know I abuse mine.
Yeah, you don't have one.
And
You
I
don't
did.
have one.
And I didn't abuse
They
it.
went through the process and got it, but you don't know what their handicap is. You can't always see it.
I've seen people in handicap with tags, and some young person gets out with no issue getting around. Yeah, that happens
Well-
all too often.
Sometimes they're maybe mom's in the car.
Right.
They're driving, but mom's in the car. They still get the handicap spot.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's so strange how things work. Like my dad officially has he has a handicap sticker, but they don't always use it.
Right.
Like they'll use
Right.
it every so often or whatever. They'll use it often, but sometimes he'll take it down, so that way he can park wherever.
Well,
When
you're not supposed to drive with it hanging.
Right. And so with when I'm with my mom, I'm like, Mom, we don't need the handicap sticker. Like, you don't have to park in the handicap. My dad's not with you or whatever. And so I just feel like it can be abused, like you said, by people who need it,
Don't need it, yeah.
Correct.
Damn, Tom's abused.
But I'm just saying,
I didn't
like
abuse it.
it is
You
what
did.
it is. Mario,
You guys
called
see-
him out.
You don't have one. You parked in
Well,
a
you-
handicap spot.
You
That's
guys
abuse.
think I do that every day? I don't.
No,
this
but
happened
okay.
once.
We're gonna let this
So
go
if you
after
kill
this.
somebody one day, it's okay.
There we go. Apples and oranges.
No,
Okay,
that's apples
no,
and
listen.
apples.
This is what it all boils down to. People are watching you. People are watching Blake. People are watching me. When Kevin's in town, people are watching Kevin. That's the bottom line. If you do something like that, rest assured you're going to be called out on it. You live in the public eye because of your profession, and that's it. That's the plain and simple. Okay,
And
this
I'm okay
conversation
with
is
that
over.
because
Yes,
I,
me too.
I always do right, Tom.
Yes, me
Yeah,
too.
sure.
But I do want to point something out. A minute ago, Tom was like, be judgmental. I don't care. And then all of a sudden started fussing about someone feeding their kid and said, keep it at
Ooh,
home.
Yes.
good one, Blake.
Feeding
That's a
their
good one.
kid.
Na, 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 na.
Feeding their kid.
Na,
What the
na,
hell?
na.
Let them feed their kid. What's the matter with you? All right, Supreme Court grants a stay for the former New Mexico State University players' trial. New Mexico Supreme Court on Friday afternoon put all hearings and the jury trial for the Schwand Washington on hold. Stay will allow time for the evaluation of the emergency motion to continue the trial to continue on April 9th by Washington's attorney. Filed for that stay. The motion filed at the 3rd Judicial District Court in Anya County, and they want to vacate the jury trial scheduled for April 14th. So the Supreme Court put a hold on this, and then we will wait and see. He is part of the hazing that went on at New Mexico State involving 2 other players. Back in the day, that was a big story, and still hasn't gone to trial, facing 2 felony counts. Tariff exempts chips temporarily. Yeah. Also cell phones and laptops. Recently, though, the Chinese over the weekend said, you want to play ball? All precious metals will not be shipped to the United States. Tom, what do they make? What do we use precious metals for?
Everything.
So beer, we use precious metals in beer.
Beer, aluminum.
I don't think we use precious metals in aluminum.
Nope.
Just
well, you got to put it in a beer can.
Nope.
No. U.S. strips the benefits from thousands of criminal aliens, those on the terror watch list, federal government ending parole benefits for thousands of foreign nationals. Social Security is reclassifying them as ineligible to receive any type of payments. 6,300 individuals on the terrorist watch list. Yes, you heard me right. Terrorist watch list. Foreign nationals on the terrorist watch list were receiving government assistance. Oh, they even had Social Security cards. They have revoked their Social Security cards and revoked all government assistance. Round them up, send them back, get it done, and get it over. FDA issued an urgent recall of a popular butter because it has fecal contamination. This should be good. Tom, why are they recalling the butter?
It's got norovirus.
I don't think I said anything about norovirus. I said fecal contamination. Blake, please explain.
Fecal matter is what let's dumb this down for Tom. When you go number 2, you are expelling fecal matter. Mm-hmm. And, like when you can flush a toilet and stuff, sometimes the water droplets, very tiny microparticles, spray that fecal matter all over the place. And in this case, it was in the butter.
Thanks for ruining somebody's breakfast.
Cabot Creamery extra creamy premium sea salt butter is being recalled.
And if you don't wash your hands, like workers didn't wash their hands or something, or it could have come from the cows themselves. Right. It could have.
They believe that the bacteria that is found, the fecal matter bacteria is found in the butter, could have come from soil that was contaminated. But you don't get butter from soil.
Well, if you ask
Monica, I don't understand. But there's one thing that I don't want in my butter. I want it creamy, and I might want the sea salt, and but I don't want poo in my butter. I just don't. I mean, I like my butter creamy and smooth without poo. I don't know about you guys.
You're just so picky.
Tom's coming.
I like my butter poo-free.
Yeah,
I don't mind. You can go ahead.
I told you he was going to do that.
Well, she got.
I like the butter poo-free. I do. Another Democrat loon.
That should be a new label on butter. Poo-free.
That's not a bad idea.
Poo-free butter. Yes. Another Democrat loon arrested for threatening to kill Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Sean Monper 32 years old of Butler, Ohio, was arrested. By the way, he goes by the YouTube handle, Mr. Satan. And by the way, the picture of him, he looks satanic as hell. By the way, the threat came February 17th when he wrote the following comment on a YouTube video. No, we just want to start killing people. Trump and Elon, all the head of the agencies, Trump appointees, anyone who stands in the way. Remember, we are the majority. MAGA is a minority in this country. And by the time we make our move, they will be weakened. Many will be crushed by these policies, and we will find the revenge. American Revolution 2.0. Yeah, that'll get you arrested. Yeah. Evidently, he's very upset about ICE and Doge. Mr. Satan. Yeah, let's make his life hell. You want to have that handle? Let's make him hell. Looks like Donald Trump expanding the Gulf of America oil and gas natural production. So reversing Joe Biden administration policies to halt offshore leasing and prompting lawsuits and restrictions for oil and gas development in the Gulf of America. Donald Trump and Secretary Doug Burgum have directed the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management to hold an administrative first offshore lease sale in the Gulf of America.
Amen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe people, when I go back home to Morgan City, Louisiana, it looks like a ghost town. It was an oil and gas town like Hobbs. It was vibrant, people making money. Obama killed it with a moratorium on drilling. Let's get her done. All right, text line. Then we'll talk about a Chinese man convicted of acting like a spy. Oh, let me tell this story before I get to any of those stories.
Hey, Kevin, after you tell that story, we have a phone, someone on the phone. If you want.
Let's go to the phone call. Then okay. I'll talk about food stamp abuse. Go ahead.
It's about time, Gabber.
What's going on?
Good morning, Mark.
It's Mark from Roswell.
Morning. Kevin, you talk. I love y'all guys. You know that. And Tom, get to a serious note. You park in a handicap and I see you there, I'm going to have you ticketed.
Mark has had a stroke and has real problems walking.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And you took his space.
I've never taken his space.
You did.
You took somebody's space.
No, didn't take nobody. There was eight other parking spaces available. I only used one for like 2 minutes.
No. Tom, you look on the state laws of handicap.
Yeah.
You know what? There's times I don't park in the handicap. Like, okay. Right. But if it's there, and it depends how I'm feeling, how my legs working.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Tom, I see your trash car in one of them. I'm going to have you ticketed. I love you, brother. You and Kevin, you know that. I've been dedicated fan.
Yeah.
For over
you know what,
20
Mark?
years.
I wouldn't even do that. I would just put a hot knife through his tires.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No, that's violent, B.
Because
that's violence.
You could remove the valve core.
No.
There you go. Just cut off the yes.
No. Just use the remover and remove it and let the air out so he can't go anywhere, and then put it back in.
He'd never figure it out.
Tom.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, where's my gumbo?
Maybe when I get back, bro. Maybe when I get back.
You said that last time you lied.
Well, I can't get anything in the Philippines. I can't even fix a pump. I can't get supplies. So appreciate you, Mark. Take it easy. 7:57. All right, food stamps. So, and I'm not going to mention names. So let's just put it this way. It's somebody that's from the Philippines. I see on their Facebook page, they just had a baby and they are guest workers. They work in the United States 6 months, come home 6 months. Well, she got pregnant in the United States. So she got a baby passport now. Baby's a citizen now. Mom and dad, both Filipinos. So now they're getting the food stamps. You know what they ate on Saturday? Wagyu steaks. They posted it up. Wagyu steaks. Wagyu damn steaks. Then they post up Japanese white strawberries. $15.99 for white strawberries. The steaks were like $35 a piece. So I respond to her story on Facebook. I wouldn't have paid more than $5 for the strawberries. And she responds, well, I didn't pay anything. I put it all on food stamps.
Oh, that's...
My wife says, don't get upset. It's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. You got people busting their ass, barely getting by. And we got people. These people own a business here in the Philippines. Her dad is a millionaire here in the Philippines. See, lies the problem with me. Is that people that want to come to America just to suck the marrow out of Lady Liberty. This is the problem.
Yeah.
They don't love America. They want that passport for their kid, though. They don't love America. They want everything America will give them, and that's the problem. Give.
Just take.
It kind of just burns my britches. All right, Kevin O'Leary. I'm going to get to Kevin O'Leary. We'll get to taking out trash, things that happened on this date in history. Rig Outfitters and the home store located in the Broadmoor Mall. Extensive collection of FR jeans, coveralls, gloves, shirts. They've got everything that you're looking for. They've got hard hats, work boots, steel toe boots, safety gears, $99 section of boots. Plus furniture, appliances, electronics, zero down financing, rigoutfitters.com. They're right next door to Scrub Outfitters. Scrub Outfitters has the largest selection of medical scrubs. The big name brands, you like Dickies, they've got Dickies, Healing Hands, Met Couture, Peaches, plus a large selection of compression socks, comfy shoes, the equipment you'll need to go to work in the medical field. Find them on Facebook, Scrub Outfitters, Rig Outfitters in the Broadmoor Mall. Here's Kevin O'Leary talking about China. You know those mats that go, the really nice mats that go in your car, the FloorTech mats? Very expensive. Very expensive. So they're questioning Kevin O'Leary about Chinese theft. They bring up FloorTech mats that FloorTech has never sold on Alibaba. And guess what's on sale in China and on Alibaba? FloorTech mats. Because the Chinese can take anything and knock it off and duplicate it. Here's what Kevin O'Leary had to say about the FloorTech mats and other products.
There is nothing they can do. You have just told the story of 1 million small businesses in America over the last 20 years. They innovate, they create, they're entrepreneurs, they prove their product in the American consumer market at around 5 million in sales. They're knocked off. By whom? China. Very often, the same plants that ran the molds under a relationship they had with the company. A lot of companies went to China 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and put their molds there. And during the day, the company would run the WeatherTech mat, in this example, here theoretically. And then at night, they'd run the knockoff mat. And they would bring it into the market, let me guess, 30% off retail of WeatherTech. And I've seen this happen countless times. And in some cases where the company's very small, they go out of business. And nobody hears that tree falling in the forest. It happens.
You know, I do business with a company called Lazada, and I can find DeWalt, and I bought a steel chainsaw. And when I got it, I looked at it and went, this ain't a steel chainsaw. It's got a stamp on it that says steel chainsaw. It looks like a steel chainsaw. This ain't a steel chainsaw.
Right.
Same things with a DeWalt drill I got. That ain't DeWalt. China, knockoff. And it takes money. We invest it, we invent it, and they completely destroy it, is what happens. They destroy the marketplace because they sell it much cheaper. All right, let me get to two cuts real quick, talking about Medicaid. Representative Stansbury talking about the Medicaid cuts. Millions of people that be cut from Medicaid.
So look, Republicans have made numerous claims they will not cut Medicaid, but what does this new budget framework tell you?
Yeah, I mean, the Republicans themselves are infighting. It took them days and days this week to even pass a basic framework for the reconciliation bill, which is the centerpiece of Donald Trump's agenda. And that centerpiece is all about giving permanent tax breaks to his billionaire buddies and to large corporations. And to offset the cost, they're looking for quote unquote savings somewhere. And those savings are coming in the form of $880 billion in cuts to Medicaid. Republicans.
Well, and what they're doing, it's not cuts to Medicaid. Blake, did you see what they're doing? They're actually making people that are able-bodied people
go to work,
that are on Medicaid, pay for their own damn insurance. Yep. What? Well, I got to pay for my insurance. Why wouldn't they have to pay for their insurance? You got 20-year-olds sitting at home playing video games all day, and they expect the government to hand everything to them.
We have to root out.
Here's Mike Johnson.
Abuse. We have to eliminate people on, for example, on Medicaid who are not actually eligible to be there. Able-bodied workers, for example, young men who should never be on the program at all. When you have people on the program that are draining the resources, it takes it away from the people that are actually needing it the most.
Amen. So take it away from those that don't need it and put it back in the hands of the people that need it, for sure. All right, 8:05. Let me do taking out the trash. We've got to get to things that happened on this date in history. National anthem and the pledge on the way. Taking out trash being brought to you by Trash Eaters. 575-408-1719. Call Kayleen today. They've got the 96-gallon poly carts for residential customers, 2 and 4 yard metal dumpsters. They've got the roll-off containers. If you're out on location right now, need a roll-off container. Kayleen's number, 575-408-1719. Veteran-owned and operated, trash-eaters.com. Who said that non-citizens weren't voting? Arizona counties have started the process to work with the Department of Homeland Security regarding verifying voter citizenship and removing non-citizens. So far, guess how many people have been removed from the voting rolls because they're non-citizens? Tom, take a guess. Thank you. Intelligent answer.
Yeah.
50,000 people. Now, Kari Lake lost the governor's election by less than 2,000. 50,000 non-citizens. You remember Donald Trump lost Arizona by a very thin margin in 2020. He would have won Arizona. Maybe he would have beat Joe Biden. 50,000 non-voters on the voter rolls. Taking out trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters. Chinese national convicted of acting as a spy for Chinese, arrested by ICE. He's on his way home. Ming Zing Zhang, owner of Yaya Noodles in New Jersey. was arrested by ICE.
Okay.
He is currently in ICE custody while awaiting deportation. I couldn't make his name up.
No.
But he did own the Yaya Noodles. Yes. Cory Booker says he does not rule out running for president in 2028. He can sit there and talk for 20 minutes or 20 hours, I say.
Yeah.
And Mickey Rourke exits Celebrity Big Brother. Do you know why he exited?
F&A, I do.
Yeah, he couldn't stop cussing. He could not stop cussing to save his damn life. So he was on Big Brother UK, and they said he couldn't stop cussing. And they told him, dude, you got to go. I mean, you know, you're 72. You're homophobic. You said you weren't going to vote for a lesbian. You have made lots of sexual comments, and you won't stop cussing. You're out of here. Wow. He's a little burned out, too.
Yeah.
Just a tad burned out. All right, we're going to squash the whole idea that Cheryl Hines was not talked to by Donald Trump. They want you to believe that's the case. It is not the case. I'll get to that coming up. And also, New Mexico State Police released the update on the fatal officer-involved shooting in Espanola. We'll tell you what that is about. We're KWMW Malchamora 105.1 FM, KWES 93.5 FM Ruidoso, and KDAZ AM 700 FM 96.9 Albuquerque. Let's get to things that happened on this date in history. Being brought to you by 2A Tactical Firearms Indoor Firing Range, open 7 days a week. Veteran-owned and operated. They have the state-of-the-art indoor firing range, plus the Milo FBI training simulator. Date night. Day. Yeah, take the love of your life for teach them about guns. Take the kids out there and teach them about guns. They have the Milo FBI training simulator. Plus, they have a huge selection of firearms, and they do offer financing. They also offer firearm safety training. They have a huge selection of accessories, guns, suppressors, tactical gear. They've got it all. Go to the website, 2atacticalrange.com, 236 East Navajo and Hobbs, proud sponsor of things that happen on this date in history.
This is the day that Lincoln was shot and the Titanic hit the iceberg. So April 14th can be tough.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just now getting started on your taxes. They're due tomorrow. On this day in 1775, the first American Society for the Abolition of Slavery was organized by Benjamin Franklin and Benjamin Rush.
Both the Benjamins.
Thanks to the Benjamins. It was on this day in 1828, the first edition of Noah Webster's American Dictionary of the English Language was published. When people wanted to know what it meant, he told them to go look it up in the dictionary. On this day in 1894, a motion picture peep show device invented by Thomas Edison went on display in New York City. Mrs. Edison must have been out of the house. And on this day in 1902, J.C. Penney opened its first store in Wyoming. Customers were surprised when they walked in and everything wasn't a penny. Kind of like when you go to the dollar store now.
Yeah.
On this day in 1912, the Titanic hit the iceberg and began sinking. So we're going to play a couple little trivia questions about this and see who can score the most.
All right.
All right. At what time did the Titanic sink?
1 a.m.
2 a.m.
Closer goes to Monica, 2:20 a.m.
Hey.
She was called the unsinkable Molly Brown. What was her first name?
Maggie Margaret.
Yep. Ding, ding. 2 in a
I
row.
watched Titanic.
2 in a row. How many ice warnings did the Titanic receive?
Several.
Ooh. I'm going to say 3, but I'm sure there was more. Because as...
Several is my
6.
6 is correct.
Hey.
Several is too vague, Tom.
No.
How much was a first?
Oh, he would have been able to score that on any game show. Several. Ding, ding. You got it right.
Jeopardy would have given him the buzzer. How much was a first class ticket? And how much was a third class ticket?
So this I learned from the little thing that Hobbs had.
Mhm.
I want to say the first class ticket was actually like, back then it was a lot. It was thousands, like 4,000.
Yes, it was $4,000.
And where the Leonardo DiCaprio rode was like $30.
Yeah, it was 35.
Hey.
There you go. Here's something that you should know for any English ship. What does RMS stand for? It was the RMS Titanic. What does it stand for?
Ready-made ship.
I'm
No.
gonna say the
No.
S is ship, but I don't know the R and the M.
It's Royal Mail Steamship.
Okay.
I didn't read.
Two more.
Yeah, right.
Two more.
Like right.
What was the speed the Titanic was going when it hit the iceberg?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm going to say it was going 40 knots.
It was going
fast, but
very
not
fast.
nearly that fast.
Well,
I don't think you know the speed of ships, Tom.
I don't understand ship speed. So is it gauged in knots?
It's gauged in knots.
So like, what's one knot? How many
Like
100,000
100 miles
miles?
an hour.
What'd you say?
Like 100 miles an hour?
No.
What is it?
It's
Girl
close,
it up for
it's
me.
close to a mile an hour. It's roughly. I mean, it's
One knot is 1 mile an hour?
roughly.
Okay,
It's-
maybe 50 knots.
No, 22. That's
Oh.
fast for a ship.
Okay.
Okay, last one. What other ship was 10 miles away from the Titanic and never responded?
The Olympic.
Nope.
The Indianapolis.
Nope. The California.
Ooh.
Well, I had a state right.
Still don't get credit for it, Tom.
Hey, you can learn something
Wait,
from movies.
you had the state right.
You did
You
not.
said the Indianapolis. It's the California. Indianapolis is in California.
It's in Indiana.
Apples and oranges, Tom.
Oh my God.
Kevin, who won that round?
I don't know. My head hurts.
It was on this day in 1913 that President William Howard Taft started the tradition of throwing out the first ball of baseball season.
Oh, I like that.
And in 1956, Ampex demonstrated the very first commercial video recorder.
Okay.
The rerun was born. Today is International Laverbread Day, National Gardening Day. I'll be doing a lot of that later. National Dolphin Day, Look Up at the Sky Day, National Day of Silence. Ladies, take that in mind. National Pecan Day, National Ex-Spouse Day, National Pan American Day, and National Reach as High as You Can Day. Easter is on Sunday. Taxes are due tomorrow. Birthdays today. NFL quarterback Baker Mayfield turns the big 30 today.
Really?
Sarah Michelle Gellar turns
Buffy the
48.
Vampire Slayer.
Thank you.
How old is she?
Good job.
48?
48 today.
She's married to?
Don't care. Pretty sure
Freddie
there won't be
Prinze
any
Jr.
vampires at her party.
Yeah.
DeBrat turns 51 today. I think.
No, I do not have that.
John McEnroe.
In Wisconsin, I think they call him DeBrat.
No, DeBrat's actually a female rapper.
Is it? She goes great with sauerkraut. Adrian Brody turns 52 today.
Academy Award winner this past year.
Well, maybe.
Name a movie.
That he's been in? The movie that he
No,
won?
that someone else was in.
Movie that he won for this year.
Oh, you're taking too long. He was in King Kong, Predators, and The Pianist. Anthony Michael Hall turns 57 today.
Holiday Road. Holiday Road.
Nope. Don't remember a movie called Holiday Road. But
Vacation. That's the song for Vacation.
well, he wasn't in that. He was in 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club,
He sure
The
was.
Dead Zone,
He was in
Goldbergs,
Vacation,
Reacher.
dude.
Nope. You may be right, but I don't think so. Somebody check that out for us, please. Former baseball player David Justice turns 59 today.
Married to Haley
he-
Berry at one time.
And he played for the Yankees.
But he struck
The
out.
Braves, too.
I'm just going to say anybody that's married to Halle Berry that can't make that work.
Struck out. Struck out. Greg Maddux is also
he was
59
sex
today.
addict. He was sex addict. He wanted way too much sex.
Well, good for him.
Well,
no, true story.
Oh, yeah. Greg Maddux is also 59 today.
Former Atlanta Brave, too.
He was a pitching legend.
And Chicago Cubs.
Robert Carlyle celebrates birthday number 64 today. He is a Scottish actor.
Never heard of him.
He was on the TV show Once Upon a Time, and you probably saw most of him in The Full Monty. Brad Garrett turned 65 today.
From Roman Loves Roman.
Ray Romano's TV brother on Everyone Loves Raymond.
Loves Raymond.
Roman Loves Roman.
And
Yeah, that was a whole new show.
He was
It was about a
also-
guy that loves himself.
He's funny.
He was also the first grand prize winner on Star Search. Yeah, I had to go look that up. Peter Capaldi is 67 today.
Actor, but
He is
I
a
don't know
British
him.
actor. Yeah, he played Cardinal Richelieu in The Musketeers. He was on a British TV show where it was about an office thing, and he drops the F-bomb a lot. His name was Malcolm on that show. And he was the 12th Doctor on Doctor Who. Highly underrated on that. All right, here you go, Kevin. Richie Blackmore turns 80 today.
Oh, Richie. Name the song, Tom.
Deep Purple.
What?
He got the band.
Deep Purple.
Can't believe he got the band. What's the name of the song?
Smoke on the Water.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Pete Rose, the people that have passed. Pete Rose would have been 84.
Wow.
And Loretta Lynn would have been 93.
Coal miner's daughter.
And Kevin, those are...
Mississippi heart. For much love in a Louisiana heart.
There we go. God bless you. We're late this morning.
Had to do that
I got a
Titanic
lot.
trivia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to get to. We'll check the weather coming up in just a second, keep you up. We'll talk about when we come back. Stephen Miller is talking about the law of the land. We'll get to that. And the press secretary had something to say. Today is the day that if you're in the United States illegally and you don't report, you've got an issue. You do. And Ant Thornton, who is a senator in New Mexico, talking about the National Guard. We'll get to all of that coming up in just a second. We got to get to National Anthem and the Pledge, 8:20, being brought to you by Rebecca Long. She's your farmer's agent. Has been since she was 19. Still helping people 40-plus years later. 226 West Vega and Hobbs. Call her today, 575-393-2661. Rebecca Long, Farmers Insurance Agent. Call today, 575-393-2661. Call her today. Proud sponsor of the National Anthem and the Pledge.
Good morning. My name is Chase Mazurek. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carrie Underwood.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
823. We are beyond the Breakfast Club. Large prayer this morning being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is in complete control.
And our scripture this morning comes from Proverbs 10. Ill-gotten treasures are of no value, but righteousness delivers from death.
This is Mike Welsh with Judah Oil. Can you join us in the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
On earth as it is in heaven.
On earth as it is on heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us.
And forgive us.
Our trespasses, and we forgive those who trespass against us.
And forgive us as we forgive those who trespass against us.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not to temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
Amen.
Amen.
Quick check of the weather being brought to you by A Custom Construction and Roofing and Insurance Specialist. Call Dwayne Pinnock today, 575-318-9725. He can help you with pretty much anything construction and roofing. If you got a project, get in touch with Dwayne today. He's got 30 years of experience, plus the A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Dwayne Pinnock, 575-318-9725. A Custom Construction and Roofing, warning you about the out-of-town unlicensed contractors. Most of the time, that warranty they give you is null and void before it even takes effect. Give Dwayne a call today. Increasing clouds all day today. High temperature 77 in southeast New Mexico. Winds up to about 30 miles an hour. Lincoln County and Ruidoso, 68 and sunny. Winds should not be a problem in Ruidoso, maybe 10-mile-an-hour winds. And in Albuquerque this morning, 80 and decreasing clouds. Maybe some wind tonight into tomorrow, but today looking pretty good in Albuquerque. 5-day forecast, go to W105radio.com. Already 8:25. Let's get to news being brought to you by Luke Ragsdale, Ragsdale Law Firm, reminding you when accidents happen, it's usually when you least expect them, and when they do, you need a trusted law firm. That's the Ragsdale Law Firm. You can find them online at theragsdalelawfirm.com. They specialize in car accidents, personal injury, medical malpractice, and all-field accidents. Based in Roswell, serving the entire state, they offer free consultations, and you never pay until you win your case. Call Luke Ragsdale, 575-208-5300, ragsdalelawfirm.com. We're coming right back. We're beyond the Breakfast Club.
News, I'm Therese Crowley.
It is not okay.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro on the firebombing at the governor's mansion after he and his family held a Passover Seder. State police say the suspect under arrest, a 38-year-old from Harrisburg, expressed a deep hatred for Shapiro, scaled the 7-foot fence and threw Heineken bottles filled with lawnmower gas, badly damaging the interior. Shapiro thanking Americans for the prayers, shining a light on his family. President Trump marking this Holy Week at the White House, also hosting El Salvador's president, and congratulating golfer Rory McIlroy, earning the green jacket at the Masters in Augusta, 12 under par.
I have to congratulate Rory. They showed tremendous courage. He was having a hard time, but it showed great guts and stamina and courage. People have no idea how tough that is.
America is listening to Fox News.
There's a special magic in the air when Jow Cowboy Days rolls into town. This beloved event transforms Jow Lake Park into a vibrant celebration of Western culture and community spirit. With live music, a Dutch oven cook-off, and fun for the whole family. Loaded with vendors to shop, plus a foam pit and bounce houses for the kids. It's an experience you won't want to miss. On Friday, April 25th, the live music begins with the sounds of Josh Ward from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and Bravos de Ojinaga from 9:30 to 11 p.m. Then on Saturday, April April 26th, the day kicks off with the Cowboy Cook-Off at 7 a.m., Cattle Drive at 11 a.m., and branding at 11:30. Finish the evening as Lowdown Drifters takes the stage from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., followed by Norteños de Ojinaga from 9:30 to 11 p.m. Celebrate the spirit of the West at Jow Cowboy Days, April 25th and 26th. Join the festivities, indulge in the delicious food, and enjoy unforgettable performances. Visit cityofjow.us for more details. Don't let this fun-filled family affair pass you by.
What's really going on? Daniel Velos back at it again at Permian Ford Lincoln, your new home of the Big Blue Gorilla. You'll see why whenever you come by. Check it out. Anyway, glad to be back powering B in the Breakfast Club. Also excited to be back here at Permian Ford making all the deals for all of Southeastern New Mexico and West Texas that are so outrageous you'll think twice about buying or selling your car anywhere else. Text me today, 575-441-7855. We have a radio discount code, Breakfast Club. That's 575-441-7855. Radio discount code, Breakfast Club. PermianFord.com.
At Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling LLC, over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
At National Furniture Liquidators, it's a tax time truckload sale featuring famous Ashley brand furniture. Truckload savings like your choice. 4-piece queen bedrooms, just $588. Entertainment centers, $148. A 5-piece pub set, $295. Or an Ashley reclining sofa or love seat, just $588 each. Many more savings plus great financing options regardless of your credit. Ashley Tax Time Truckload Sale. When it comes to value, quality, and selection,
nobody beats you. Registration is now open for the United Way of Eddy County's Cinco de Mayo Golf Tournament, May 3rd, 2025, at beautiful Riverside Country Club in Carlsbad. This 3-man scramble will feature special prizes and credit payouts. All money goes to support a local nonprofit. For more information, please visit www.uweddyco.org and click on the Special Events tab. The United Way of Eddy County's Cinco de Mayo Golf Tournament, May 3rd, at beautiful Riverside Country Club in Carlsbad. This ad paid in part through the City of Carlsbad Lodgers Tax Fund.
Pharmacy 575 is excited to welcome nurse practitioner Jessica Barrera to their team. From primary care to minor injuries, she is ready to care for our community. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are preferred. Offering the My Daily Medication program with pre-dose packaging, wellness consultations, weight loss plans, and more. Go see Pharmacy 575 at 305 East Sanger, Suite 600, or call 575-263-2908. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Pharmacy 575. Your health, their priority.
Ruidoso Downs Racetrack is gearing up for fun on the run all summer long. And it all begins with a special preseason appearance by Texas country music superstar Pat Green. Pat Green performs at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack as part of the $25,000 All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Fest Saturday, May 3rd. Watch the best regional barbecue teams in the Southwest compete for a chance to qualify for the American Royal Nationals, plus shopping vendors, the Kentucky Derby, and Pat Green with special guests Eric Wills and Brian Mars. All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Festival takes place all day long with Pat Green on stage at 7 p.m. Tickets are available now at raceruidoso.com. That's raceruidoso.com to see Pat Green. Saturday, May 3rd at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack and Casino. Telephone the box office at 575-378-4140 to see Pat Green. I'm okay. I'm all right. Okay. And for fun on the run all summer long, visit raceruidoso.com.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com. Home of the lifetime Permian Powertrain promise.
Let's get it on!
You're a lot smarter than I look.
We asked Southeast New Mexico what they wanted in a morning show, and they told us. We're tired of being asked what we want in a morning show. All right.
Both of us were banging our heads like two 16-year-olds, yelling at each other.
Be in the Breakfast Club. Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to us.
Journey is over. McElroy has his masterpiece.
Congratulations, the Masters. Rory McIlroy, the winner. Donald Trump gave him a call yesterday. They're friends and congratulated him. So congratulations going out to Rory McIlroy. Hey, I got a fun. What's that? 17 tries?
17 tries to get that.
Well, it doesn't matter where you start. You just keep tugging and tugging and tugging until you win. So congratulations going out to Rory for winning the Masters yesterday. Got a the Masters. When you sleep, the Masters will put you right to sleep. It's awesome. Tom probably turned it on and fell asleep. Got a special deal going on, fundraiser for the VFW and Hobbs. You know, those guys have been hit with lots and lots of expenses. Somebody stole their air conditions, and they've had a tough run. So my buddy Mark said that they've got a special dining to donate fundraiser. It's going to be going on at the Roadhouse. And 10% donation, so you can scan that. Go to the VFW's Facebook. I'll post this up, and so you can do that. You know, the best way to help these guys is just give to the VFW and Hobbs. That's the best way. That way they get 100% of the donation. And I'm not poo-pooing on the idea that the 10, but the best way to help them is to give Mark a check. You big oil and gas companies, give them a check. This is a place for the brothers to get together and just write them a check. If you can, write them a check. The VFW needs some help, so help those guys if you can. Looks like police in Kentucky responding to a local YMCA to eject a unusual trespasser, a deer. Weirdest thing is at the YMCA, since old men refuse to wear clothes in the locker room at the at the YMCA, a lot of people stop going to the that type of Y. Mm-hmm. It's a little different. The Hobbs Y is not like for families; it's just for kids, right?
Does Hobbs have a Y?
No, Hobbs doesn't have a Y.
What is it that Hobbs have?
They have
boys and girls.
They have a youth
Hobbs
center
has
and
a Boys and Girls Club, and it's just for boys and girls.
A lot of these, you know, like my brother in Katy, Texas, they have a beautiful Y, and you know it's for the family. But you know, like they said, you know, grown men refusing to wear clothes in the locker room, that scared a lot of people off. Which, you know, but and since the YMCA is used by Donald Trump, yeah, that's freaked a lot of liberals out. They don't want to go. Social media commentators had a field day reporting that former Vice President Kamala Harris is considering starting a Center for Policy and Ideas. Policy and ideas from Kamala? Kamala could definitely start a business, but I'm thinking more about like liquor store. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Liquor store would work.
Drugstore.
Yeah, drugstore, liquor store, whatever. One of those.
Salad store.
And DoorDash is launching a robot delivery in Chicago and Los Angeles. Part of the reason is human beings don't want to deliver in Los Angeles and Chicago anymore. True story. Wow. 15 shootings in Chicago over the weekend.
Wow, that's a lot.
15.
That's a slow day. Slow weekend for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, very slow. And Carol Burnett and Jimmy Kimmel will be making a cameo appearance on the fourth season of Hacks. Carol Burnett is still with us?
She is. Yeah, she's in her 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought for some reason that she was already gone.
She's still viable.
Wow.
Too. She's a good actress.
Wow. All right, we're going to talk about Donald Trump did not snub the actress Cheryl Hines. I'll get to that in a second. You know who she's married to, Tom? Cheryl Hines?
No, is she Charlie's
Angel? You know all this useless stuff, but anything dealing with something today, you don't know.
She's married to the ketchup guy.
Jr.
Yeah.
No. She's married to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'll get to that in a second. Morning show this morning made brought to you by North Star Laundry, one-stop shop for all of your laundry, offering dry cleaning, pressing, starching, wash, dry, and fold, walk in, drop off all your clothes. They'll take care of the rest. Yeah, and if you want to take care of your own clothes, they have coin-operated machines at all 3 of their locations. You can find them 604 West Church in Carlsbad, 604 West Lee in Carlsbad, and 406 West Cedar in Loving. Your one-stop shop for all of your laundry. It's North Star Laundry in Carlsbad and in Loving. Well, The View was talking about Donald Trump. Have you ever heard about Donald Trump instituting martial law?
No.
No.
Yeah, they're peddling that idea along with the Nazis and this and that. Here's the View.
He's trying to destroy the country. Now, why is he doing that? Just as a person in the audience, like watching this. Yeah. So there's a couple of theories.
Yes, and
first of all, if he tanks the entire what do you call it? The stock market, then all his billionaire friends can swoop in and buy everything low. That's not an original idea. That's Hakeem Jeffries said that. And the other thing, and in fact today on Truth Social, Trump wrote, a great time to buy. The other theory is from James Carville, which I think is interesting, that he wants to stoke such instability and chaos to consolidate power for himself so that people start to really go nuts, which we're starting to.
No, we're not.
Well, people are starting to get mad.
Well, that's good. Yeah. You want them to get mad.
But how mad will people get, and how broke will people get, and how many jobs will be lost? And then he can say, well,
because they're not bringing more jobs than the jobs we've lost. All these factories coming and opening, all these people investing new money in America. It's a bad thing.
No,
it is a bad
thing. They're mad that we're, quote, losing government jobs.
Oh.
Those things that actually produce nothing.
Government jobs. Yeah, that could be a problem. Yeah, government jobs. Yeah. Those are the ones that, government jobs. All right, Ann Thornton is
before you get there, Kevin, we have someone on hold, and they've been on hold since we.
All right, let's go to the phone call.
Break, so
that could be Mark, but I thought he was gonna. Well, let's talk to Mark.
Whoever it is, I don't know. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. This is Mark. I'm in Lovington.
Okay.
Hey, Mark. What's going on?
Hey, not much. I just wanted to add one more thing. And first, I wanted to say thank you for the kind words to the VFW. That was,
yes.
Shoot, that gave me goosebumps right there. But, it is true. We do need some help to get these ACs paid for. But we're moving forward, and everything will be great. But what I did want to talk about was May the 3rd is our VFW Day of Service. And what we do is we do something every year. Last year, we offered to change oil and for veterans or their spouses free of charge. This year, we're going to be identifying grave markers in Hobbs cemeteries for Memorial Day. Memorial Day, we go out and we place flags on graves, and a lot of times the graves aren't marked with their military service. So what we're doing is we've purchased some medallions, and free of charge, we just got to know where these graves are, and we will mark those graves with their specific branch. I mean, Air Force, Army, Navy, which all the branches, free of charge. And that way, we won't be leaving no veterans' graves unmarked with a flag on Memorial Day to honor those veterans.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And how can they get in touch with you, Mark, if they have a family member that needs the their gravesite, with that they were of service? So how can they notify you to do that? Okay,
great question, because I was sitting there getting all jumbled up there. You can send us an email at vfwhobbs@aol.com, or you can send a message on our Facebook page or you can call me direct, 575-390-6245. And like I say, I appreciate everything y'all do to help get our word out.
And Mark, all these big oil field companies, you're looking for the tax write-off right now about this time of the year, write Mark a check. Hobbs VFW.
Absolutely.
Let's get her done. Thank you,
Hobbs
brother.
VFW,
Thank you
Post
for what you do.
3274. Thank you.
God bless. Ant Thornton. He's a senator from New Mexico. Tom, you know Ant?
Yes. I interviewed him when he was running for governor.
What's his signature?
Ant governor?
Yeah. What's his signature?
I forgot what his slogan was.
African-American guy, big cowboy hat always.
He's a scientist, too.
Is he a scientist? I didn't know that about Ant.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what he had to say about the governor pushing back from Donald Trump and she doesn't like that we're putting the military on the southern border. Well, he doesn't care for the National Guard going to Albuquerque. He thinks they should be at the southern border. Here's what Ant had to say over the weekend.
The Democrat governor finally recognizes that she is overseeing a border state. And I'm really glad that she's actually engaging the National Guard. Unfortunately, I think she's missed the mark by about 250 miles. The National Guard needs to be at the border, helping out Customs and Border Patrol and ICE, where we know that we've had fentanyl and human trafficking actually occurring on a regular basis coming across our border. And so that's the issue that really needs to be addressed. And that's why we have so much crime here in New Mexico. So I have a lot of concerns about her initiating a National Guard personnel to help with the Albuquerque Police Department in those areas that you just suggested. But the real issue is that we really need to have these issues addressed at the border where we could stop a lot of these activities that are occurring in Albuquerque.
So Ant was actually on Newsmax. I want to make sure and give them their due. All right, the rest of the story, video, and man, it sparked an outrage. Donald Trump shaking everybody's hand at the UFC fight, but they were like, no, he snubbed Cheryl Hines. Cheryl Hines, of course, is married to, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So it spread like wildfire on social media. Clickbaits everywhere. Trump snubs Cheryl Hines. Then all of a sudden I see a picture of Trump actually shaking her hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's engaging in a conversation with her at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, he's sitting here. Right behind her is Cheryl Hines. You know what I'm really, really glad about? Cheryl Hines forgave Robert F. Kennedy. Robert F. Kennedy is a Kennedy. And when I say he is a Kennedy, he's a Kennedy.
Got blood running through him.
He was sleeping with like 5 or 6 different women.
Yes, he was.
Over the course of the last 2 or 3 years. The dude was busy. Like when he was going out, when he was running for president, man, there was a lot of activity going on in the Kennedy camp. And it wasn't helping him get reelected. I'll just put it like that. Whew. And she forgave him. She forgave him, and the marriage is still intact. That's pretty awesome because everybody nowadays is just give up. But she didn't give up. She didn't give up on him, Tom. And he's eating right. He's actually working out with the president. President had a medical examination. Yeah. They said he's in good shape. And by the way, they released all the information. Unlike Biden's. Remember, Biden wouldn't release his medical information.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, 8:47. We got to get to things that happen on this date in history. Text quickly. Then we'll get to the boob of the day, not things that happen on this date in history. Boob of the day up next.
All right, Lyndon Carlsbad says, are we going to go on the phone line?
Go ahead and finish that one.
Okay.
Finish the text.
My friend, Lyndon Carlsbad said, my friend is over 65 years old. Uh-oh. It just went off. Monica, could you read that?
Does anyone really listen to the shrews on The View, said Mike from Edgewood. Governments are parasitic by design. Agreed. The dude from Lovington says, Tom, did you pick today's Bible verse to highlight your hypocrisy? And since y'all skipped this, I'm sending it again. Tom A. parked in a handicapped spot so he doesn't have to walk that far, leaving the buffet.
For all you without sin, go ahead, throw the first stone.
That is a good one. Just another leftist socialist. Did y'all already talk about the Masters? We
did.
And what did the government do with that guy's brother? Bang, bang, ow. And if I remember correctly, wasn't it Arizona that had like 110 or 115 participation percent-wise in some of their counties in the 2020 election? Said
Yes.
Jody from Lovington.
Yeah.
All right,
Sure did.
Linda Carlsbad, the text I was going to read says, my friend is over 65 years old, married to a senior citizen, and on a very limited income. She has food stamps that you cannot afford a good food to buy for the whole month. Bad food is cheaper than the food that is healthy. Yet her neighbor, who is in her 20s, is on food stamps and buys steaks and crab and stuff like that. That just ain't right, says Linda in Carlsbad.
I see it all the time.
Pretty much. And that's why they call it EBT, Eat Better Tonight card, says Junior.
Yep. Eating better.
This one, talking about things that come from China versus things that are bought in America. We bought the Immune 150 supplement, and my husband found it at Walmart and then on eBay way cheaper. When we got them, it said made in China. They were smaller, and when you open the capsule, there was a huge difference. The ones from China tasted like powdered sugar and meal taste, so we'll pay the extra for the good American stuff. Markets are up this morning, if anyone is interested, says Jeff from The Patch. Frank in The Patch said The View is creating hate and division like all the Democrats do. Let's not lose our focus. False flags might be propped open by Democrats and blame us conservatives. Correct, Frank. John from Munis says, guys, Tom should be able to acquire a handicap placard just for his mental state. LOL. No, he will definitely qualify for one. He just has to not be lazy enough to go and get qualified for one.
Right.
Imagine what we would find if we took swabs from under Tom's finger. No.
I think it's talking about the fecal matter thing.
Yeah. What else? Oh, Walk the Walk, when we were talking about the fecal matter butter, says that, but that's basically butt butter. And Tom, and that 2 minutes, it takes you more than that to just shuffle out of the rut that seat has. All right, we have another phone call.
Good morning. You're on Being the Breakfast Club. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Holy hell, I got through. I've been on the hold, listening to this phone ringing for about 55 minutes now.
It
I'm have to send y'all an invoice.
7 minutes.
Bless your heart.
7 minutes. You've been on 7 minutes. Hello.
48 minutes and 41 seconds so far.
Oh.
That's how long I've been hearing this phone ring. Anyway, I just got to say, I got several points here just to let you know. But I got to say, I love y'all's show. I appreciate the morning prayer more than anything. But I got to say, as a Christian man, y'all, I know it's an act. I know it's all fun and games, but the whole thing picking on Tom, it's not cool. But everything else about your show is cool. Secondly, I want to talk to Kevin because I do listen to you guys' show avidly every day. But Kevin is getting on my nerves. He gets on my nerves. He wants to sit here and talk crap about people on EBT. I know it's your job. You're doing great, by the way. But you want to sit here and talk crap about people that can't afford to have kids. They just don't need to have kids. And the government ain't your baby daddy. Well, I'm here to tell you, sir, I have 6 kids, and I would not be able to feed them little shits if I didn't have EBT. I want you to think about this, sir. I got 4 boys, 2 girls, and 4 out of the 4 boys want to be soldiers. And you think it's a bad thing to feed them boys up, to be your soldiers, protect your nation? You know, I pay taxes on fuel. I pay taxes on my property. I pay taxes on groceries. I pay taxes on everything. Everything's taxed. But yet, I'm limited on what I can make because I'm only a man. I'm not Elon Musk.
Time out. We've given you a few minutes to talk. Don't come at us. Seriously, if you're just going to be
I don't mind him coming.
No. If you're going to have 6 kids, you better have a 6-kid man job. Do you understand me?
Okay, well,
don't go having all kinds of 6 kids. Don't go having all kinds of kids and then expect have a 6-kid man job. I know plenty of men who have more than 6 kids and aren't on welfare. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I raised 5 kids on my own without food stamps. 5.
I raised
and so
all kinds of kids.
I had 3 boys
on my own.
I just had to work, and I was blessed. I will admit, I was blessed.
And what man is proud to be on damn government assistance? Get out of here! Get out of here!
Really?
Monica went off on him.
Monica
went off.
You should not be proud of that. As a man, you should not be proud of that. Whoever you are, whatever.
I'm not proud that our economy is so damn bad that we can't afford to feed our kids.
There are plenty of money-making jobs in our area, and you know that. If you got to work some overtime, you got to work a second job, do so. If you've got to tell your wife to get her butt off the couch and go get a job so you guys don't have to be on government assistance, do that. But don't sit here and call us and tell us, I couldn't raise my little shites if I didn't have whatever. That's your problem. Go get a 6-kid man job. Bye.
Got her going, bro.
Yeah, Lord.
That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
You touch Monica's button. Hey, I appreciate you, brother.
That.
Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you. All right, we got to get to boob of the day. Got to get to the boob of the day. Keep you updated with everything going on this morning. I still got to get to the chick flying fat. She's very upset. The flying fat girl. But boob of the day this morning being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Medical professionals on staff offering functional medicine. They offer natural supplements, stem cell therapy, ozone therapy. Get in touch with them today. Look, they offer hormonal optimization. If you are going through hormonal issues, Desert Functional is there for you. They believe in treating the root cause of the problem. Yeah, not numbing the symptoms, treating the root cause of the problem. They also offer lots of aesthetics. 3900 North Lovington Highway, 575-964-8025. Get in touch with them today. 5 minutes away from 9 already. Boob of the day.
It's hard to come up with something ridiculous that hasn't happened at Walmart, especially now that this has happened at Walmart. 4 people in Louisiana have been arrested after they rode their horses through a Walmart last week.
Dang it.
I just want to say,
what's the town in Louisiana? Give me the town.
Does not say. Let's see. No, it doesn't say. But I just got to say, these guys got arrested for this, but I know it's not the first time.
Yeah.
Seems like this was a stunt, it says. The 4 men, one of them told the local news, I mean, it was fun. Now we're famous. That's all. We didn't want to hurt anybody, he said. He also joked that the animals were, quote, emotional support horses. Because apparently people can take whatever kind of animal they want to take in and call it emotional support at Walmart. Now, the police didn't think it was very funny. This guy and the other ones are looking at charges of disturbing the peace by violent and tumultuous manner and unlawful posting of criminal activity for notoriety and publicity. Never heard of that crime, but sounds like a very Louisiana kind of crime. At least
Baker, Louisiana. That's right outside of Baton Rouge.
Okay. At least one of the riders was a kid, so maybe these guys aren't the best role models. There's an interview with the guy And there's photos of him riding the horse. I wouldn't expect it in Louisiana, but just about anywhere else, I would expect some horses to go through Walmart. But for this today, they are the boobs of the day.
Yeah, they are all they're not dressed as cowboys, so to speak. They've got a hoodie on, and I think that's Crocs.
It could be. I looked at the photo earlier, but I didn't pull it back up. So
yeah, crazy. So congratulations, Baker. You made the news. By the way, that went national in India. I pulled the story up from India.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, 2 minutes away from 9 o'clock, 2 away from 9. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club. Boob of the day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. We'll talk about that officer-involved shooting, and Elon Musk says he's saving how much money for 2026? We're making headway. We'll get to that. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Homegrown and proud of it. Farm and ranch supplies, work gear, feed for your animals. They are your certified Purina dealer. They have hardware, fencing, trailers, tanks, tacks, you name it. They've got 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. RoswellLivestock.com. Text line. Then we'll take a break. I'm sure the text line is blowing up.
They're blowing up. All right. Dang, Monica. I appreciate the point you were making. What if it was just a few months, though? I mean, we all have bad times in our lives. Food stamps should be a hand up and not a hand out, says the texter. Another one says, dang, Monica, if he was a true Christian, he would trust the Lord to take care of him, not the government, says Shorty from Lovington this morning.
Absolutely.
And little sister, good, proud of you standing up. Boy, we're here in the patch, always listening to you, and we thank you for the opinion. Plus, he's also saying that we here in the patch always look for overtime and good people for work too. Says Frank in the patch this morning. Okay.
Correct. You know, I watched my dad bust his tail to give 4 kids a good life. I'm sure if my mom would have qualified or whatever, who wouldn't like that hand up? But to become dependent of it and to be proud of it, to call and let the whole community know I couldn't raise my kids if it weren't for
and you know what, Monica? That is what I've said a million times. It's a badge of honor now.
Correct.
Back in the day when I was growing up, nobody wanted to buy anything with any stamps because it was shame. It brought shame on your family. Nowadays, it's a badge of honor.
Now, give me my
Look
EBT.
what I got.
Give me my EBT.
I got 600 on the EBT.
Hey, Mike from Edgewood saying, give him a heck, Monica. You tell him. I agree with you fully. He goes on to say, no real man should be proud to be on the government teat, says Mike from Edgewood this morning. Thanks for tuning in all the way from over there, by the way. Monica, you go, girl, says Ray this morning. Another one says, way to go, Monica. We just love you, man. And good morning, everybody. I'm at work now, and I said it before that the government is going to take everything they can from you, so you got to take everything you can from the government, says another texter.
No.
Well,
that's giving to Caesar what's
that. I understand that, too, because the government is taking advantage of us, but I still believe that we can't take advantage of the government.
What rubbed me the wrong way, too, is that he first came out like, I'm this good Christian guy, a little judgmental on us, whatever. All right, Tom, we give Tom a hard time. If you're a Christian, then you give Caesar's what's Caesar's, you pay your taxes, and then you trust God for the rest. If you're going to have 6 kids and be wanting to have and make 6 kids, then come on now. You've got to have a 6-kid job, bro. That's
I see it. I see it all the time. People that have babies that can't take care of their babies. Our neighbors here in the Philippines, the daddy left, so they got 2 little girls, and then they made another baby. They don't know how to take care of those babies. I walk out of the house every day. I'm on the 2nd floor or 3rd floor, and the little girl is yelling to me, "Daddy Kevin. Daddy Kevin," and they call every daddy is a sign to respect.
Right.
So it's not like I'm a baby daddy. I'm not that close with the mom, but she's calling my name because she wants me to go get her I buy milk and I buy all kind of food, and I put it in a bag and I throw it off the second floor down to them. And so she's calling my name and said, "Can you give me some snacks?" And you know what? I don't want to see kids starving. I don't want to see that gentleman's kids starving. 6 kids. And he doesn't need no desert functional. His libido's high enough.
Right.
All right, one more story before we take a break. 903. Megyn Kelly blasting Kristi Noem.
We're behind a break, yeah.
Yeah, I know. We're really behind. So, Monica, what do you think about a woman blasting another woman? This is par for the course. I'm used to Republicans, bashing Republicans. Kristi Noem, she's saying that she's going out there acting like she's a police officer. And she's got fake eyelashes on and 30 pounds of makeup. 25 pounds of hair and 30 pounds of makeup. Wow. I think I think Kristi Noem is extremely hot. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know about the 30 pounds of makeup and 25 pounds of hair.
I don't know that she's wrong about that.
Correct. Kristi Noem does wear heavy makeup.
She does.
She does wear heavy
makeup. She has fake eyelashes.
She does.
Probably a weave.
And so she's saying, she goes out with ice, that she's going out with ice for a photo op. Okay, I'll buy that. And that she's not law enforcement and this and that, but she is the face. Yeah, she is the face of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
So let her do her job with her 25 pounds of hair and 30 pounds of makeup.
And she's not a certified officer that we know of. But if she's head of that department, isn't that de facto law enforcement?
Correct.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of like
no doubt.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it is like the principal of the school.
Some of the sheriffs sometimes listen to the show, and if there is any sheriff listening, text us and let us know. I know that you're all certified, but in order to be sheriff, do you have to be a certified law enforcement officer? Because it's an elected position.
You do.
I bet they think Kristi Noem was hot too. Bet they think Kristi Noem was hot. Yeah, I'm just saying. All right, let's take a break. 9:05 news this morning being brought to you by La Tienda Thriftway in Carlsbad. Enjoy the taco bar while you're in there, and try the tacos from the taco bar, but try the tortillas. Made multiple times a day, so they're always fresh. Corn tortillas and flour tortillas. And this week they've got a lot of specials. 80% lean ground beef is just $3.69 a pound. Also, shank portion ham, $1.79 a pound. T-bone steaks, $8.77 a pound. Fryer leg quarters, 59 cents a pound. Spare ribs are just $1.99 a pound. Produce department red ripe strawberries, $1.69 for a container. That's a 1 pound container. Cantaloupes, $1.99 each. Asparagus, just $1.99. And bananas, 49 cents per pound. Also, they've got brisket for $3.89 a pound. Cucumbers are $2 for $1. These are all Easter essentials. And from the deli department, mesquite smoked turkey breast, $6.99 a pound. Virginia smoked ham, $4.99 a pound. And find all the big specials. Maybe you're planning something special for the, of course, for Easter. They've got you covered there too with all the refreshments that you might need. Coke, Dr. Pepper. They've got Sprite and more. Get the 20-pack for $9.99 at La Tienda Thriftway in Carlsbad. We're taking a break. We're coming back. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. Hobbs Police Chief August Fons announced a change to the department via an email that revealed nearly 1/3 of the city's certified officer positions are vacant. Also, 24% of HPD's civilian support staff is also currently vacant. To address the 45 vacant positions, there are plans to create brochures and social media content for recruitment. In addition to restructuring and recruitment, the department is also seeking to add an additional deputy chief position. The New Mexico Department of Health announced 2 new cases of measles in Lee County, bringing the state total to 58 cases, and Lee County total to 55. Eddy County has reported 2 cases, and Chavez County has reported 1. In Texas, the Texas Department of State Health Services reported there are now 541 confirmed measles cases in the South Plains region since the outbreak began in January. 355 of those cases have been in Gaines County, 47 cases in Terry County, and 38 cases in Lubbock County. And 16 bills that passed the New Mexico House of Representatives and Senate became victims of Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's veto pen on Friday. Bills vetoed by Lujan Grisham on Friday include Senate Bill 315 to make the tortilla the official state bread, Senate Bill 327 and Senate Bill 377, which would have issued license plates celebrating the lowrider and the New Mexico United Soccer Team, respectively. HB 36, Board of Optometry Powers and Duties, HB 77, Annual Federal SNAP State Outreach Plans, HB 120, Accessibility of State Agencies, HB 143, Lobbying Activity Reports, HB 181, State Trust Program Accountability Plan, HB 191, Wildfire Suppression and Preparedness Funds, HB 219, Slot Canyon Riverland State Park, HB 269, Healthcare Authority Visit Verification, HB 433, Study Career and Technical Education, HB 494, Tax Exemptions for Veterans, Senate Bill 142, Grid Modernization Roadmap, and Senate Bill 220, Publication of Legal Settlement Terms. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
There's big spring values all week long at Bob's Ridgeway. Boneless breast tenders, only $2.49 a pound. Get boneless pork loin, $1.77 a pound. In produce, seedless grapes, red or black, $1.49 a pound. Get red ripe tomatoes, just 99 cents a pound. Craven flavored ice creams, the big half gallon, get 2 of those for $5. And Food Club cereals, the big boxes, get 2 of those for $3. Food Club pasta sauces, 2 for $3. You can get Fat Smart bleach, just 98 cents a gallon. Get your Lunchables from Oscar Mayer, 2 for $6. And Peyton or John Morrell bacon, the big pack, just $4.99. These are just a few of more than 150 big grocery values for the spring all week long at Bob's Ridgeway, where the quality and service still matters.
The Matanza Fest and Cinco de Mayo celebration is the party you don't want to miss. Traditional music, vendors, a car show, dance, and the Matanza. A mouth-watering event and a competition of savory, one-of-a-kind pork creations, real chicharrones, and fresh salsa. Think you have what it takes? Enter your team today at nmmatanza.com. The Matanza Fest and Cinco de Mayo celebration at the fairgrounds in Roswell. Proceeds to support alternative education programs and paid for in part by City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Join 8 Eddy County Stars at the inaugural Dancing with the Eddy County Stars event, Friday, April 18th at the Carlsbad Civic Center Auditorium. All funds go to support the United Way of Eddy County. Tickets may be purchased by visiting unitedwayofeddycounty.org and clicking on the Special Events tab. The inaugural Dancing with the Eddy County Stars event, Friday, April 18th at the Carlsbad Civic Center Auditorium. Who will win the crowd in this year's Mirror Ball? This ad paid for through the City of Carlsbad Lodgers Tax.
What's really going on? Daniel Velos back at it again at Permian Ford Lincoln, your new home of the Big Blue Gorilla. You'll see why whenever you come by. Check it out. Anyway, glad to be back powering B in the Breakfast Club. All excited to be back here at Permian Ford making all the deals for all of Southeast New Mexico and West Texas that are so outrageous you'll think twice about buying or selling your car anywhere else. Text me today, 575-441-7855. We have a radio discount code, Breakfast Club. That's 575-441-7855. Radio discount code Breakfast Club. PermianFord.com.
Ruidoso Downs Racetrack is gearing up for fun on the run all summer long. And it all begins with a special preseason appearance by Texas country music superstar Pat Green. Pat Green performs at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack as part of the $25,000 All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Fest Saturday, May 3rd. Watch the best regional barbecue teams in the Southwest compete for a chance to qualify for the American Royal Nationals, plus shopping vendors, the Kentucky Derby, and Pat Green with special guests Eric Wills and Brian Mars. All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Festival takes place all day long, with Pat Green on stage at 7 p.m. Tickets are available now at raceruidoso.com. That's raceruidoso.com to see Pat Green. Saturday, May 3rd at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack and Casino. Telephone the box office at 575-378-4140 to see Pat Green. And for fun on the run all summer long, visit raceruidoso.com.
Now back to your morning show.
In the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford with the goal of being your number one Ford dealer in New Mexico and West Texas.
Talk to me like you know me.
Be in the Breakfast Club. Rest assured you're not going to learn a thing here. If we get caught, we're going to jail.
I got a lot of things to still get to. Good news of the day. We'll check the text. By the way, Monica, you asked about him early on. Kylan Lacey from LSU. His dad just released a statement, and he said, parents, start talking to your kids at a very early age and make sure they are confident and comfortable and confide in you. Don't be cool with I'm all right or I'm good when you know deep down that something is not right. Mental health is real, and for the most part, it's visible. Don't ignore the signs, even if it's something small. Our lives have changed forever, and this will never be okay. But God needed my baby more than he was needed here, than he was needed here. This has to be the biggest pill for our family ever to swallow. Thanks for the love and support. And it's not easy, but we'll have to learn to live with it. So, Kylan Lacey's dad, Kenny, saying, check on your kids. Make sure they're okay. Don't accept I'm good. Which, kids, I'm good. I'm good. And they're not good. So just a word of advice. All right, Tex, we'll get to the good news. Got one more break before we do the good news of the day.
Right.
Monica and the Tex.
All right. So pretty much everybody just appreciated and thanked me for standing up for real men. That being said earlier, I also understand the other side of the coin. I get up at 3 a.m. to go to work and pay and take care of my family. That guy sounded like he's the one that I'm going to 3 a.m. going to work at 3 a.m. for and paying taxes. That's not cool.
Nose breather hater says, not sure about New Mexico, but here in Colorado, you do not need to be a certified officer to be a sheriff, says the nose breathing hater.
Yeah, I got a text from a sheriff that said, no, you don't have to be. And I looked it up, and they have to complete an administrative law enforcement training program within 12 months.
And this guy, his name is Brian. I think he's a new listener. He said, good morning from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
You guys are great. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, Brian.
Thanks for tuning in, Brian. Now, Kevin, that's all for the text, but we do have to get to our Rig Outfitters question of the day. So I'm going to leave that to you guys because I didn't tune in to y'all.
Well, let's announce who
Friday.
out of the ones from last week who get the $100 gift certificate.
Correct. So from the winners of last week, we took it into the drawing, and same guy that won on Friday won again, Will Tyson. If you are listening, let me know you're listening because you have officially won the $100 gift card to Rig Outfitters. So do one of y'all three want to ask something about Friday's show?
Silence is deafening.
Silence of the love.
Tom, you have the best memory out of all of us. Won't you go ahead and...
and people always complain about it, but what is Tom's signature call?
No.
That's too simple.
We're doing what happened on the show.
I always do that on the show every day.
I know, but that's way too simple. Like, you got to make it just a tiny bit challenging.
Well, we do want to make it simple.
So,
did you have a guest on Friday?
There you go. Who was our guest?
There you go.
On Friday.
Oh, yeah.
The 10th person.
And what did I ask her?
No, one question, Tom. Who was our guest on Friday?
It ain't about you, bro. It ain't about you.
Well, it should be.
It's not about you. New Mexico State Police release update on that fatal officer-involved shooting in Espanola. State Police released the details of the fatal shooting of a man by law enforcement. On Thursday, the county sheriff's office received a call about a larceny at a home in Dixon, New Mexico. The caller said that his son, 32-year-old Zachary Cisneros, stole multiple items from the home, including a gun. When the deputy located the vehicle, Cisneros was at the Speedway gas station in Espanola. Cisneros drove to a nearby Lowe's home improvement store, and that's when they confronted him. One thing led to another, and he handed a rifle towards the deputies, and they shot him. Shooting is under investigation. That's pretty much all we know. Washington Post columnist says clashing with Bill Maher on the look, just because he goes and meets with the president, he said he doesn't agree with everything, but said that what was the wording that he used? That he was gracious, that he was a great person to talk to about pretty much every topic. He said Kid Rock told him, dude, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you just got to jump in.
Sure.
And Bill Maher's like, I have no problem doing that. So anyway, all these people on the left attacking Bill Maher for just going sit down and talking to Trump. This is the problem.
Hate us.
It is. Elon Musk says that Doge set to top $150 billion in fraud savings. $150 billion in fraud savings. That's a lot of money. That's all. We've almost made the money we gave Ukraine. If we could get a little bit of more money, we would be okay. Just a little bit. All right, Blake, we're going to take a break in a second. But what do you think about Paxton and Cornyn in that race? Because
it's going to be interesting. Because one is one is truly conservative, and the other one started out that way and has moved consistently to the left. And I just want to say again, if you want to win today on the Rig Outfitters question, text us who the guest was on the extended version on Friday.
One consultant, by the way, Paxton, of course, is the challenger. Cornyn is a longtime senator in Texas. But a GOP consultant said that Cornyn-Paxton Senate race is going to be a back alley knife fight with rusty knives.
It will be.
I agree with that. Good thing about Paxton, I think he is able to raise a lot of money, but Cornyn's voting record as of late, over the last 4 years,
to the left.
His voting record is not stellar.
No, it's to the left.
Yeah, no doubt. And Jasmine Crockett at the center of a FEC probe over dubious campaign donations. Suspicious ActBlue activity found the Democrat Party's new favorite, Texan Jasmine Crockett. Could it be that Jasmine got some money that she wasn't supposed to get?
Yes, I bet she did.
Yeah, they're looking into $870,000 in contributions. ActBlue. Quite surprised. Very, very surprised.
Not at all.
All right, Blake, we'll take a break and then we'll come back. We'll get to, let's do text first. 920, Monica. Anything else?
All right. Question for those protesting Doge finding and cutting fraud. How much are you personally getting from the stolen money?
There you go. And when are we going to see people arrested for this?
I agree. Good morning from Butthead, South Carolina. I had a question about Trump changing the minimum wage to be $25 an hour. Is this fake news?
It's fake. It's fake.
It is fake news? Okay.
This texter says the LSU kid probably wouldn't have been drafted if they'd pulled his card, says the texter.
No. I just went and read that. It said that he was projected a first-round draft pick.
He was.
I thought he was second-round draft pick.
No, he was in the top 6. So, not no more, unfortunately. B.
Really? Yeah. Did you just say that? Not no more.
That's what he said.
Unfortunately, I said.
All right, 9:21. 9:21. Let's take a break. We're coming back. Good news of the day up next. Let's check in with news being brought to you by Fusion Medical Spa, featuring the vitamin C specials during the entire month of April. They're offering 25% off all vitamin C procedures and products. Did you know vitamin C is a perfect remedy for skin and energy? Nothing better than vitamin C. And this month at Fusion, they're offering 25% off all vitamin C IV treatments, 25% off vitamin skin treatments, vitamin C supplements, and the Diamond Glow vitamin C treatments, usually $185. Right now, just $100. And they're offering a free gift with any procedure or product purchase. They also offer laser hair removal, 20% off. Dr. Raff offers stem cell therapy on knees, shoulders, joints. This procedure is not a surgery. They use your white blood cells to heal your body without surgery. So if you're living in pain, this could be the answer. That way you won't have to get a handicap placard. Give them a call, 575-2574-SPA. That's 257-4772. Fusion Medical Spa, River Crossing in Ruidoso. Taking a break. Good news up next. It's already 9:23.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. President Trump does not have plans to chat with China's leader Xi Jinping over the trade war. That from the White House. But the president says no one is off the hook when it comes to tariffs, suggesting new electronic tariffs for semiconductors could be coming soon. Top National Economic Advisor Kevin Hassett talking to Fox Business.
We look at the things that influence national security and make sure that we're onshoring that production so that if there ever were a problem in the future, that the U.S. would be 100% ready.
The all-female crew aboard the Blue Origin rocket.
5, 4, command engine start. 2, 1, ignition.
The suborbital flight lands safely back on Earth. The fiancé of Jeff Bezos, Lawrence Sanchez, was on that flight. America's listening to Fox News.
Wilbanks LLC and Wilbanks Trucking Services LLC have over 37 years of experience from 1987 to 2025 in the Permian Basin oil and gas industry. Wilbanks recently divested out of the rig moving operations to focus exclusively on providing crane services to support the growing demand in the basin. Wilbanks continues to provide quality, expert, and performance-based services to a multitude of customers. With a fleet ranging from 60-ton to 350-ton cranes, locations in Hobbs, Artesia, and Odessa, they hope that you will consider their team for projects ranging from plant builds, compressor sets, to general site builds. Please call 575-746-6318 to find out what they can do for you. Wilbanks LLC, your regional expert in the crane world.
Did you know that when you become employed with Eddy County, you'll be receiving one of the best and most competitive benefits packages in Southeast New Mexico? Eddy County offers great pay, paid vacation, paid sick leave, and holiday pay. In addition, you get para-retirement, and for full-time employees, 100% health insurance paid and 60% for your dependents. You can find a list of open positions and apply at New Mexico Workforce Connection or online at eddycounty.org. Eddy County is an equal opportunity employer.
Dear future, Toyota leads the way with hybrid tech and all-wheel drive. With style for miles, the Camry gives you up to 51 combined MPG. The Corolla Cross is packed with tech, and the future-forward Prius takes you further. No matter where the road leads, Toyota's hybrid tech and available all-wheel drive get you there. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, where our business is built on dreams and imagination. Right now, the Lincoln County real estate market has more buyers than sellers. What does that mean? It means that the local market of inventory of houses and ranches is low, but we have plenty of buyers ready and willing to purchase properties. So if you've been considering putting something on the market, it's a good time to get top dollar for your investment. Telephone my team of seasoned professionals at 575-257-3000. That's Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, online at ruidoso- national-nm.com.
At National Furniture Liquidators, it's a tax time truckload sale featuring famous Ashley brand furniture. Truckload savings like an Ashley two-piece sectional, just $7.97, or an Ashley queen mattress, $2.98, an Ashley sofa, just $3.97, or a table with 4 chairs and bench, just $7.77. Many more savings plus great financing options regardless of your credit. Ashley Tax Time Truckload Sale. When it comes to value, quality, and selection, nobody beats Short.
At Franklin Veterinary Clinic, they're a full-service clinic that offers comprehensive care for family pets, equine athletes, and livestock alike. They have multiple veterinarians on staff providing the best possible care for your animals at every stage of their life. And when emergencies arise, they offer 24-hour ambulatory services and after-hour emergency care. The new emergency number is 575-808-7725. Franklin Veterinary Clinic, a tradition and excellence in caring, proudly serving Lincoln, Chavez, and Otero counties.
Pops Power Washing Services, LLC has been in business for 11 years and continues to serve the Permian Basin of New Mexico and West Texas, specializing in power washing for the oil field, complete with a new mobile vacuum trailer ideal for dealing with any tank battery and SWD spills. Pops Power Washing would like to earn your business while Eric can get his wash crew and vacuum trailer on the job. Let Pops Power Washing put you on a maintenance schedule to upkeep your battery facilities, containment, black units, all the way down to your wellheads to mitigate possible fines to your company. Fully insured and bonded. Call or text Pops Power Washing Service, LLC at 575-704-0330. That's 704-0330.
It's time for the 76th annual membership meeting for Lee County Electric. Join them on Friday, April 25th during regular business hours in Lovington and Tatum, New Mexico, and Plains, Texas. Attendees will receive a registration gift, have the opportunity to vote, and be entered for the grand prize of $2,500 from Lee County Electric. Lovington will host a drive-thru event, while Tatum and Plains will open their lobbies for registration. To streamline your registration process, find a personalized registration card in the back of the April issue of the Enchantment magazine. The business portion of the meeting will be streamed on Facebook Live at 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. Lee County Electric, 76 years strong, owned by those we serve.
Be in the Breakfast Club powered by Permian Ford, home of the lifetime Permian powertrain promise. That means your engine and transmission performs for the life that you own the vehicle or it's covered.
1, 2, 3, here we go.
You see, this is what happens when you let sick people play with powerful toys.
It's like I've got the winning ticket in my pocket.
Here we go, back to Be in the Breakfast Club. Be part of the show. 877-396-W105.
Pick up the phone and call me right now.
All right, we got to get to good news of the day being brought to you by Farmers Agent Herschel Rustin Hayes. You can call him 575-396-0513. Home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance, Herschel Rustin Hayes, right there on Avenue D in Lovington.
In the interest of time, I'm going to give you a single good news story today. A baby walrus is a hit online after she was rescued in Alaska last summer. Her name is Uki. She was dehydrated, malnourished, and needed cuddle care from zookeepers to stay warm. She couldn't be released back to the wild, so now she's living at SeaWorld Orlando, and she's doing pretty good. She's 350 pounds and still growing. With a female walrus named Caboodle has been acting as her adopted mother. And that is your good news of the day, Kevin.
All right, we're taking a break, Tom. Stay out of handicapped parking spots. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, you don't never know who's watching you. So act right all the time. It's my thought for the day. Now, news this morning being brought to you by Roche Air Conditioning and Heating, your choice for your next HVAC job. Call Enrique Rocha today if you're having problems with the AC. 575-631-1999. Rocha Air Conditioning and Heating. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another edition of Be in the Breakfast Club.